After a conquo, in goal. What is love? After a conquo, on loan from Arsenal.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Sean Driver, the Red Horde. It is July 24th, and it's preseason game number 3, the second that we can watch on TV, assuming that you've been able to figure it out with me. What do we call you now, Brendan? Is it Producer P? Is it Mixmaster Brendan? Is it what do we?
We'll let the chat name me, right?
Okay, we need to have a nickname. As this is going to be the first broadcast that we've run that I am not in control. I'm sitting here staring at my face on a delayed YouTube. Brendan's counting me in to do things and maybe picking it up a level or down. I don't know. Well, I think it's up. I think you've done a remarkable job, Brendan, in getting caught up to speed on things. And I'm super appreciative of it. This allows us to add little features and for him to do some stuff in the background. And our guy, I don't even know if he wants me to name who he is. That's why I've been so secretive. Who's setting up the other stuff, still doing all of that stuff in the background. But let's get into it. We're talking Chelsea. The lineups have been released. Do we start with Wrexham or do we start with the bad guys? What do you say? And I guess I should probably test the live chat to make sure everything's there. So at the end of the day, you may end up getting a couple of bugaboos, a couple of gremlins, some tech stuff, as it's the first time Brendan's in control and the first time I've been doing it without the ability to click around. The only thing I control is the live chat and what shows up. So I'm hoping that all works. And Brendan, you can tell me if you see it on your end there with that one.
Yeah, we're good. Looking good.
Beautiful. So do we start with Chelsea? Get through that one just because I don't know I want to go too far down the rabbit hole with Chelsea. It's a young squad. So Enzo Maresca, over from Leicester, 4-time EFL Manager of the Month last season, leads them into the Promised Land and back up to the Premier League. And for that, he gets a different club to coach. What was it? August, October, December, April of last year. So he's got a history. Not a lot of coaching before that. Did some development stuff and some stuff with Parma, and it is what it is. He's got a young squad for this one. You go through the FOTMOB stats from last year and try to end up looking through them, like Chukwuemeka and Nkuku. They're all young guys. There's a couple of new additions that are there that I had to look up that weren't familiar to me. Guyu, who's going to be wearing number 38 for Chelsea, looks like he's just straight out of the academy. Oh, no, sorry, straight over from Barcelona at 18 years of age. So he only had 3 games with Barcelona last year, went up through their system, and he's moving over. You've got another player, Tyreek George, who looks like he's the player who's straight out of the academy at 18 years of age. And then you've got Benoit Badiashile, who played for them last year, 29 games and 29 appearances. He's 23 years of age. Really, really, really young team. I mean, when you've got your captain is James, and I remember looking at his age, and I'm going to have to control F. He was really young. So certainly talented. That's why they're with them for a reason. I guess he did captain some games last year as I look through that. So he'd be about the most experienced one that they've got in the lineup. No Enzo, which unfortunately for me, being from the Canada situation, and Argentina's win, would like to have been able to see that. So they're playing they're a couple of A team, but and a lot of kids that I think they're going to be looking for to make the jump. It's not that they're just playing academy kids. These are ones that are sniffing around for starting spots and are going to be hungry to be able to make a real play as Maresca puts out his first team. So it's not going to be a complete sleeper. And I still think that they're certainly favorites to win, but it's going to be sort of the subs and those that are fighting for the subs bench with a couple of starters rather than a full lineup. So that's where that is. As I go through this, I wanted to talk about the stream and what everybody is doing for it. If you're not, this match is available down in the US on ESPN. It's in Australia on Paramount. It's around the world. If you're in Africa or in a US territory, you can find it on ESPN or ESPN Deporte. But in Africa, there's another Star app that you can get to it. But everybody else, we're on iFollow. The website is not intuitive. When you click iFollow, it takes you to a URL that ends in videos. You click on there. It doesn't allow you to click the button to load it up. You have to go to subscriptions, and then you have to pay for the subscription, even if you had an annual subscription. I'm currently staring at a stream that says HLS stream has an error. Source HLS stream error. I'm hoping and wondering if you did. And I should say this to Alan while I see you there. Kia ora koe. It's nice to see you. I lived in Taranaki for a year a long time ago, and I was just down in Dunedin the month before I met my wife at a wedding. So I've got a lot of love for Dunedin. So welcome, Casper. Hello to you. And Sam's here, LFG. Indeed. I don't know what to... Brendan, what are you expecting out of this one, and what do you want out of this one before we turn to the roster? For me, this whole lineup situation, I just want to see no mistake-free football, irrespective of the score. But you let me know. Are you hoping for something different than that, something better, something worse?
Again, I'm hoping no injuries, first and foremost. Just no injuries, right?
Nobody get hurt.
Right.
I guess I'm asking for a little bit more than that in the sense that I want to see mistake-free football. If we get beat because George, their new striker from Barcelona, was George or Guy? I'm confused. Their new striker at 18 years of age ends up lighting us up with some glorious play. So be it. If we end up getting beaten, they're expected to have a quality that we may not have. But I would like to shock the world, but that's not my hope for this one. It's just mistake-free. If we can get through that, I think we're building up. And that's what I'm sort of
If we can have one side of the ball, it would be defense. If they can look good defensively and be aggressive. I don't want them to park the bus.
Yeah.
Don't stick them all back and try to make a wall in front of everybody, right? But if they play like they did against Bournemouth, they challenge the ball. They don't let them work it around without being challenged. Then I think we're in a good place. If you can hold up, if you can not give up more than 3, I think it's successful. I don't think we'll score. It would have to be fluky, lucky. It would have to be probably on a set piece.
Well, and I'm looking at our forwards, and the more I look at our forwards and the rest of the lineup, I'm like, ooh, what are we doing? And yeah, ski bum. No injuries, definitely the number one goal. And that gifted sub is from a gentleman named Chris from Switzerland. Whether he joins us or not. Is he here? I didn't see that he is here, but I just wanted to let everybody know that's from Chris. And anything better than 5-0 from the loss last time, says Sam, is better than nothing. Deandra, it is a pleasure to see you. I don't know if you were here last time. Was Deandra here on the last one? Because I added the Aruba symbol from the flag onto the red horde flag. And if you didn't see it, I was hoping that you would show it off. And Kim's demand is, I just want to see a Wrexham goal from a Wrexham player. So let's use Kim's comment to transition into the starting lineup for us. If you haven't seen that, and it's out there, it's interesting, and it's interesting because of what's going on up front. Ogonkwo and net, that makes sense to me. I don't know if Howard's going to get a run out. Burton's also sitting there potentially coming in. And hi, Marie, been there through the Copa America, still sticking with us through this. It's awesome to see you. And the other thing, interrupt me if anybody in the chat ends up connecting on iFollow and gets something other than HLS stream has an error. Let me know. And a Cascadia brethren. I guess that means I have to hate you if you're a Portland Timbers fan, Ski Bum, and I don't want to, but I don't really like the Whitecaps that much anyway. Anyway, our Ogonko in the net, in the back, we've got Max Kluworth is going to be on the right side, and it looks like Lewis Brunt is playing in the middle, and that's fascinating to me because one of the questions that I think we have is who's going to take after EOC? Who's the sub? Is it going to be Evans? Is it going to be Dobson? Is it going to be somebody, O'Connor or somebody else that slides over? I don't know if this is foreshadowing or just testing to see what we've got, but Lewis Brunt in the middle of Kluworth and O'Connor in the back. On the right-hand side, Bolton gets the start. Not a big deal to me, whether that's Bolton, Barney, Ford. They're going to have their battle on the right-hand side, although Ford, like we saw in the Bournemouth game, maybe looked at to come into the middle. The midfield, we're going with JJ, James Jones in the middle. Dobson's going to be there as well with Lee. And on the left-hand side, Revan running the left. And this is why he's running the left. Up front, Ollie Palmer, okay, that's normal. But here's the curveball. What did he have? 1 game or 2 games last year? James McLean, no longer running down the wing. He's going to be playing forward, and we'll see how they go. Sounders FC, Timbers are fun to go to, those Cascadia events, but I just can't get into the Whitecaps. And I will say this, leading up to the Vancouver Whitecaps thing, the fascinating stuff about this whole process is we're not even on their website. You go to their website and you look up the upcoming games, and it doesn't even have us as the upcoming game. They're already looking forward to their League Cup match with LAFC that happens 3 days after ours. You have to dig, even the press releases, you have to dive into do a full search, and there are 2 references in press releases to Wrexham. And if you go to the schedule and you actually click it to buy tickets, that's the only time that you will see a Wrexham's name in something live that references it. I'm curious as to why that's happened. I don't know if that's pushback from the fans because they got a lot of it. I don't know if there's a fear that we are, for those of you that are from Canada or the northwest part of the United States, when the Seattle Mariners, our baseball team that play in the MLB, they play the Toronto Blue Jays, which is a Canadian club and the only team in Canada. Toronto, I mean, that's a 4-hour flight away, 5-hour flight away. But when they play in Seattle, everybody who's a Blue Jays fan in Western Canada travels down there. And we take over the park in Seattle. 95% Blue Jays fans, and Seattle fans hate it. I'm starting to wonder if this event with Wrexham is going to be much similar to that. I won't say 90-95, but the potential that we're going to have 3/4 of the fans there for Wrexham. And maybe they've read the writing on the wall and they've decided just not to push and promote it. I don't know. But anyway, that's fascinating to see. Do we focus on that? Do we focus on this? Do I try and hit the refresh button and cross my fingers? Have you got the ESPN feed on yours, or does it start at 7, Brendan?
Yeah, it starts right on time. It doesn't even start a minute early. Well, maybe like a minute early, they start playing a loop, a couple of scenes, but it's like a 10-second loop of general sports that it loops in the minute leading up. So I won't know for another 15 minutes.
Won't panic, and I've now it's changed somewhat with I got a graphic before it loaded. But yeah, Revan starting is interesting. I don't know if they're going to do a full sub off. I imagine that we're going to see the scary part. Do we end up highlighting who's on the sub bench and who could be coming into the game? Billy Waters. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. So Bickerstaff, Waters, Dalby, and Marriott are all listed as being up front. Can't get all of them in there. But I anticipate there's going to be some massive changes. McLean Mullen up front strikes me as better than Marriott Mullen, but a new stronger striker with Mullen sounds even better. Yeah, I like the M&M combination of, and I guess McLean fits that role, but I'm okay with Marriott and Mullen, but it requires a different change in tactics. And I guess that's the hard part is, Kim, if Parky's not going to change his tactics, then we probably need to get somebody more like McLean.
McLean and Mullen are really going to dog defenders. They're going to have a hard time just swinging it around the back usually.
But do you not think that you see the same quality from Marriott? I mean, Marriott didn't score, and his shots on target, I think he had 15 shots and 2 of them hit the target.
I liked his hustle. I was expecting a burst after he beat his man and he just couldn't break free from the defender. And his touch was, again, a little too hard. Didn't have himself in a good angle to make any play at the keeper. So, yeah, I mean, he hasn't shown me anything yet. So.
I don't know who else is, like, let's be honest with our subs. If you look at them, we've got the 2 goalie subs. The only player that we have defensively to come in that's a true center back is Boyle. EOC is not in this lineup. Evans is there. He could be filling in. But we've got Barney and Ford and James. Ashfield, who, let's be honest, Ashfield to me was one of the best players in the Bournemouth game, so I'm excited to see him. Cannon and Davies that could all slot in the midfield. And then we've got 4 forwards. So when we make our changes, I don't think that's going to be in the back line. He's probably looking, Parky is, to leave Max, Lewis, and Tom there and just has Boyle to come in at some point in time. So, but yes, Dion, Billy Waters. Rather have Dolby. He's available.
This game is a wash. You know, like he's not expecting us to win. He's expecting us to get trounced. He's just trying to get people time.
Well, and if there is one of these 3 games that you want to probably change it up, it is maybe this one. I mean, it's interesting to me. The Bournemouth game, I saw the attendance. Was it just below 20,000, 19,000, I think it was. This one will have more than that. And Vancouver is going to be, 35,000-ish, I'm guessing, 35,000, somewhere in there. So if you're looking just at fan preference, then maybe you should have lightened up on the Bournemouth one. But it's Chelsea. We got spanked by them last year. If it happens again this year, then does anybody really mind? Are they going to be offended by it? I don't know. Steven says we need a coach that's not stuck in his ways. We've proven not to work which have proven not to work in higher tiered leagues. I agree with you, and do I have optimism? I mean, maybe I asked this during the Men in Blazers thing, whether we can expect the formation change and see what Parky says, because he ran the 4-4-2 diamond in the Hanley Town game. Does he look to change things up? Does he look to build through the floor? Last season, when we got away from hoofball, it certainly got a lot better. So I don't know. Merritt might be one of those quick strikers who isn't quick anymore. I still think he has the sauce. I'm in the background, and my crazy prediction for the year, and it's gone over with a lead balloon. I think I've had like one person. Patty was sort of on board with me. I said I think Marriott's going to outscore Mullen this year.
Wow,
that's my crazy prediction. He's proven it recently in League One. He's a dog. It's if he can just find that touch and figure out his role. I think he has it. You can mock me at the end of the year. Let's have them equal each other with a whole bunch of goals. I don't even care. Just put it in the back of the net, I guess, is where I'm at. 14 minutes away from the turnover. Brennan, you said, wow. Do you have any crazy predictions? Like, have you thought of anything? Like, we're going to see this player have a breakout or this player fall off the map or some sort of change?
You know, I only saw a few seconds of him, but I have the impression that Revan makes his way into the starting lineup. There's no way you can not have McLean on the pitch, so he's going to have to slide to someplace. I don't know if we'll stay with the same formation, but if you're moving him to the middle, I don't know. What are you doing there? Like, are you benching Evans and you're keeping Dobson, Lee, and McLean? You're rotating that around. You're occasionally moving McLean up to work with Mullen, like they're thinking. I mean, if they don't get another person to fill in for the Palmer spot, the bigger of the two forwards, I think it's a huge misstep. They got to get somebody in. They got to get some quality strikers. And I think we need two. I don't think we need one. I think we need two. Hopefully one under 21 that doesn't come against the roster, and someone seasoned that we can count on. Solid 12 goals season. That way they can't key on Mullen. And if we don't do that, I can't imagine we're going to get higher than mid-table. I just don't think we'll be able to score any goals.
I'm going to take what you just said there and add the comment that not PC put about McLean and Palmer being paired up as a good choice because Palmer's usually on his wrong foot when he's dealing with Mullen. Would you prefer to see Ollie with McLean to see if McLean is an improvement on Marriott and potentially a Mullen substitute, or do you see McLean as the potential Palmer substitute?
I see McLean as the Palmer substitute, and not in the same role that he played, but you see that Mullen gets breakaways and gets opportunities all by himself at times when he's pushing really hard. He'll get to a ball that the keeper doesn't get to, a fumble on a defender just for a second, and the ball bounces a couple of feet away from him. Mullen gets to it, right? I expect McLean to be doing the same thing. If you got two guys doing that, he's going to make opportunities. And if McLean busts his butt down there, some guy goes, oh no, here comes McLean. He's going to upend me. He's going to clear me out. Like, he fumbles it. McLean gets it. You know Mullen's going to be running. And now it's a nice, easy pass and goal. Like, I expect that to come from McLean up front. with a Mullen type that both
Right.
of them are pushing and pressing, and inevitably they're going to make something happen. I don't think he's got the quality that, say, Fletcher does, and I don't think he's got the ability to catch the headers and stuff. Obviously, we don't use him inside on set pieces. We kick with McLean because he's not big enough to make any difference inside on a set piece from the corner. But the other stuff he can do, he can make opportunities. So
I'm with you. Just to click through the chat here really quickly. Kim says I'm crazy. Deandra says that she doesn't see Marriott outscoring Super Paul Mullen, but wants 2 goal makers. And Kim says 1 is all that's needed, but 2 could be disruptive. And I don't see that. Fletcher's also a left footer, so pairing him with Mullen would make more sense. The only thing with Fletcher is he's got to be a super sub. Every game that I recall where he had, I guess he had that one exceptional one where he started. Outside of that one, his quality shows when he's able to run out there for 20 minutes and bust his butt. I think he runs out of gas otherwise. So we'll see how that transpires. Sitting here 10 minutes away from kickoff, what I haven't done and what I should do, I should lead you with a question, and then I'm probably going to jump onto the website just to type what I've got for finding the stream and pinning that, so everybody's going to be able to get that. It's going to be fascinating. I'm with you that Revan is down the left-hand side. Here's the question for me: if we're running 3 in the middle, I think you've got to pencil in Dobson and Lee, right?
Probably.
And so the question of Evans, Cannon, O'Connor if he slides up, Jones, what the hell are we doing if we're only going to have 3 midfielders? Because to me, that's where the strength of our lineup is. Do you see a formation change? Do you see Tom O'Connor sliding away from the back line and forward? Do you see Evans holding it down? What do you see happening in the midfield, or what are your thoughts there as I'll click away in the background?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to try some other lineups. I think we got to try the 4 in the back and, 4 in the midfield, some sort of diamond. Or, if we're going to run 3 up front, and you're moving Lee up there, or potentially, I don't know, Cannon or McLean or somebody in that middle spot. Yeah, you got to make more use. We have a lot of talent there that needs to get on the field. I agree with you. I lost you, Sean. Did you go to mute?
I did go to mute because I was clicking around. The month of August I was talking about as far as players that need to have big months. Marriott's on the list because somebody's got to step in for Mullen, and I'm hoping that it's him, because Lee saved everything last year, but I can't expect a midfielder to be called upon in League One. I would suspect to do that. The other one is, what are we doing with Mr. Anthony Ford? He played in the midfield against Bournemouth. Do you think that he has a potential spot in sticking in that jammed midfield? Because as much as the right is kind of settled with Bolton and Barney, I would have thought that maybe they went with Ford's defensive prowess there rather than trying to find him a spot in the middle that's also full. Do you see Ford having a chance to make the squad in August, or at the end of August?
Well, I very much I don't see what you do with James Jones, and there's just too many quality guys ahead of you for league games. Obviously there'll be injuries, but overall, I still think it's going to be difficult for a lot of these guys to crack any sort of regular time in a meaningful game.
And I'm going to post this and hope that the bot doesn't eat me up, and I'm going to try and pin this.
Why don't I bring up the Discord and show some of your merch?
Yeah, we can do that. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts on this as he reaches for it and grabs it and pulls it up. I've been working on things to try to put some merch out there. The goal, again, not to be rich, but to funnel things through. I can say this as a precursor. The 2024-2025 commercial sponsorship of players is not available, and they said stay tuned to this space. I understand that they're about 500 quid. I don't know whether we are interested in doing like a a super like drive where everybody can throw in a buck or two and we can see how high we go. The other thing I was thinking about is if people want shirts and stuff, mugs and all that sort of stuff, this is sort of what I've put together as much as you can see it. It looks a little blurry from a distance, but there you go. Don't let it fester. If traveling through Chester, don't let it fester. A candle. I thought it might be funny to have. I laughed anyway. Weekends Coffee Wrexham on a t-shirt. There's a mug there. That's just the standard Red Horde t-shirt, and they all come with Red Horde on the sleeve and a Red Horde private label. I'm looking at those t-shirts are probably going to be $25 US. McLean running down the wing. And so you guys can let me know your thoughts, and if you think any of those are sexy, beautiful, and if I'm right down the right alley, and I'm hoping that for the first game of the season, we'll make those available for you guys to grab. We've got Mullen, and those are all their shadows in the background that you can end up grabbing, and rep the Red Horde on the shoulder. Have something, I hope, decently well designed at the front that looks good, and maybe a little bit of humor, and whatever I make off of the profit for those ones, $4 will go back into doing all sorts of things. There was a question there. I've pinned that. The Weekend Coffee Wrexham one has caught your eye. Yeah, there's a couple there where I've pulled some popular slogans and Wrexhamified them, if that's a word. That this isn't by all means the bunch of them. I just thought I'd give a sample of the ones I thought might be more interesting, the ones that I would wear. I like the McLean one with the chef's kiss, but it says running down the wing, and if he's a center forward, I don't know, I'm gonna have to change it to something else. So you guys let me know your thoughts on that. Obviously, it's up there. So there was a question there from the one to step in for Mullen is not on the roster yet, says Steven. That's definitely
hopefully
true. Hopefully
we'll that's the biggest purchase of the transfer window. The highest quality players got to be that pairing for Mullen.
I got excited and also scared. The club has been obviously talking Lancashire as the 19-year-old from Tottenham who might be coming over on a loan. The other loan option we saw in the Bournemouth game, and I never even thought about it, and then people were talking about it afterwards, and I was like, I identified him last season, is Jebison. Jebison played for Sheffield United last year. He got the red card in the cup match. He's feisty. He's young. He's talented. He's Canadian, and I'm curious to see exactly what happens there. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
I'm just trying to make sure that the Wrexham feed is working. I'm seeing if they started because we're within 3 minutes. So I thought
hit the refresh button. It's awkward for me just so that everybody's aware. Usually, what has ended up happening is I've got the screen in front of me and I'm ticking through everything and it moves. I'm just sort of trusting it's there blind. I see it when you see it, but I also see the lips moving from Brendan sometimes, and I don't know how far back we are. I see advertisements. That's always a positive sign. I've got a Jameson ad now
on ESPN. It looks like they're running through
the Jameson
lineup.
Okay, good. So I've gone through the ad, and it seems like it might be loading, and we'll find out whether I actually get audio. We're loading. This is way better. RKO, you did make it. Good stuff. And the music is in the background, and I'm going to have to adjust the volume because if I don't, I'm going to blast my ears off as it's loading and figure everything out. So RKO is here. The same, the Weekend Coffee Wrexham. That seems to be the slogan. So I think that there are some that, to be fair, I passed by my wife to make sure that she was okay with them. She was more interested in those ones. And I thought the other ones were ones that I was more interested in. So Stephen R's back, the Villa fan from a few nights ago. It's nice to see you. I'm hoping that you stick with us, Stephen. I don't know if everyone's allowed to have a prem team and a backup squad, and especially when we play Birmingham, we'll take all the support that we can get, right? Because man, if they load it up. Have they loaded up? I look at them and then I look at Rotherham and Bolton and I'm thinking, where do we fit this year? Where do we fit? So my stuff is loading. I'm still getting a 3 dotted loading sequence here is, I don't know if it's my computer. Everything should be ticking out, so we'll figure out how it goes.
How about I transition into the background for you, and I can yap in your ear and no one can hear it.
Why don't you stay for a little bit longer, just so that we can track where we're at here, because I don't have the game, and you may end up, depending on what they do, have to rescue the situation. Is I'm buffering quite heavy, and I don't know if I don't believe that to be on my end, but what I will do is minimize some of my stuff to make sure that that's not an issue, because maybe it's just my machine saying you're doing too much, sir. And we'll see, what shouldn't be the problem, because I'm running a lot less than I was when I was the one doing all the production stuff.
Yep.
It must be, I get a chuckle out of this one, because this is Wrexham fans starting to understand what those, not so much over on the West Coast, but more in Australia, have to deal with 3 a.m. wake-up calls. It's got to be a bit of a shocker to the system to be up this late, this early. However, they've decided to do this one. I'm still buffering. I'm actually going to hit the refresh button and just see if I can get the whole page to come back. I provided the link there so that you guys can pick that up. Chelsea's also handling it if you're in the UK, but or you have a VPN. You'll be able to do that. And I don't think it's me, because when I hit the refresh button, that Jameson ad runs perfectly and then loads up. So I don't think it's my computer.
Mine has not started
it's
yet.
Them. It's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. And Maresca, if anybody has any opinions on him, I'd be curious to hear it. I mean, you have a stacked team with Leicester last year. It's kind of fascinating to me. W&G, hello there. Nice to see you again. If you guys missed this, their video is live, and I do see it, and it is running, but now it's buffering again. I don't know. I guess you're not having that issue. I see a logo for Chelsea and Wrexham. It looks like they're talking about something. I don't have what that something is. I hope iFollow figures out its bugs, or these watch parties are going to be a frustration. Turn down for what? That's what I'm hearing, and then buffer. Not started at your end. James, and you'll have to let us know whether you're on ESPN. 2 p.m. in New Zealand. See, that's the normal time for you, Alan and Dunedin. And if watching these guys, if you're like the Australians, similar time period, I'm sure you're probably up normally at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning to pull this one in. No, I guess that's when I wake up, so it'd be different for you guys. You'd be earlier on, but it's tough for some of those matches to get the coverage down on the other side of the planet. All right, it looks like it is improving, so we'll hope for it. And yes, the Chelsea match didn't end up too badly, except for the score. Nobody got hurt, and he's on ESPN. So it sounds like you guys are waiting for 7 p.m. to load up and do its thing. I'm waiting for the buffer as I look at the mascots, waiting for the Chelsea players to come out in Levi Stadium. Let's call it San Francisco. The boys trained in Oakland earlier on, and I don't know where they'll be training here, but there will be some players available at the Hollywood Theater if you're in Vancouver. God, that's tomorrow. How crazy is that? That's tomorrow. There will be Wrexham players in my city at the Hollywood Theater for an interview process, and then we'll go on from there. I know. How am I having? Because I'm not calling this. I have no control over this. I will be honest and frank with you. I've had some frustration with, and I got called a moaner. We talked about it sort of in the last match, having to deal with this problem again. Just the little things that all of the marketing is so good, and player and fans are clearly connecting to Wrexham and want to come over. It's frustrating to me that it becomes so difficult to get it across the line, whether it be the streaming service, which the old iFollow link from last year doesn't work. They could have just had it redirect to videos. I made that video just earlier to talk about that, having to go on and say what's going on and figure out you had to hit the subscription button, and then you had to buy extra, and then you get a warning that pops up that says, hey, you've already paid for a full subscription. Are you sure you want to pay? Well, I don't want to, but you didn't give me the stream for the Bournemouth match last time, so I kind of have to pay for it, and I don't want to give Chelsea my money. I'd rather give you guys my cash. It's frustrating. As the raspberry swirls, I see people moving and doing things, and I feel like I could advance this forward 20 seconds, and I feel like I'm just going to be so far behind by the time this thing kicks off. This is a problem, but I get that it's a new system and they've got to figure it out. And then the kit situation where maybe my fault. I said, don't send me the marketing and promotional material. So they didn't send me the code to get my 10% off on my jersey that I purchased today. So I'm going to have to look to cancel it and figure all that sort of stuff out. Feed's not started. They're just playing music. I see players walking out there, but the problem for me is I just see these 3 square dots. If anybody's on iFollow and has a perfect stream, that's what I would be interested in hearing. They're going to miss a start on ESPN cable.
Does anybody see anything on ESPN Plus? I'm just getting a loop of kind of waiting.
Yeah, that's what I got from Marie. She says ESPN Plus is still playing. The feed's not started. No, I don't see any players out there from the feed that I'm getting, but it is making me nervous as it's just the 3 square pixelated buttons that keep on ticking. So I'm delaying the start till after the baseball game. I got the players are lined up. I see. And then buffering. Fletcher's not in the subs lineup, so he's walking around in, what do I call that warm up? The V? Am I going to watch Deadpool and Wolverine 100%? I'm going to do that, but I'm going to wait. It's until after the Wrexham weekend. I was debating whether I went to see it immediately and decided no, I'm not going to. So, but Brendan, yeah, stay on the line here just in case you jump on, because somebody's going to have to do the play-by-play, and we'll see who that's going to be.
Did you go mute again, Sean?
I hope not.
Oh,
Do you have me? Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't asked you the question of when you looked at the roster or the schedule. Did you, when you saw Crawley Town away, have a little bit of a moment? Do you remember Crawley Town Stadium as I say it? Because I forgot all about it. And so there's another adventure where all of us are going to end up getting vertigo from that feed. Not what I was looking forward to. I don't know. It's going to be a fun little run here. We get the Whitecaps. Well, they'll go back. They've got Fleetwood Town as they're starting to hear the broadcaster looking to call them out. And as soon as it happens, I go back to my buffering. Is I think the 3 of the hardest away games that we're going to have all season long right off the hop. And then throw Sheffield in there and away it goes. But you've got us loud and clear. ESPN's running advertisement. I've got the players making their way out on the pitch. I imagine we'll get the U.S. national anthem, which threw a British Bournemouth fan for a loop to have just the only anthem being played being the American anthem. But that's par for the course for North American sports. It's always the team that's being played.
Every time we play a Canadian team in hockey, we play both anthems.
Right, but it's the countries from where the teams are from, not where the players are from, because otherwise every team has, like, if it's baseball, it's Puerto Rico and Venezuela and whoever, right? And but I could see potentially Wales and England playing, but they decided to go with that. Yep. The buffering is getting less frequent. I've starting got now in ESPN. Playing. So good stuff. So, and I'm buffering again. I am going to throw things at people. And maybe have to go to fire up the VPN here and bounce over.
I'm surprised you went with Wrexham and didn't just go straight to Chelsea like most people.
I want to give Wrexham the money. I don't want to give Chelsea any money. What do they need the money for? I know it's only 10 quid, but come on. And you need the VPN. And I guess I had to get the VPN to watch the Bournemouth one. I could have done it, but I'm trying to do the right thing. To make the right decision. The PS5 version of Hulu is kind of horrible. Will be interesting once the season starts, because I guess it's going to be Golazo for you guys down in the US and not ESPN. We'll see how that one works out. Lineup started on ESPN. I've got Chelsea players taking off their kit, and I'm running somewhat more frequent, but it's not there. I'm just going to see if there's anything else that's going that I can potentially.
They're going over Chelsea's lineup right now.
I'm going to hit the refresh button one more time and cross my fingers that this works. And if it doesn't, you're probably going to be carrying the play-by-play, Brendan, until I'm able to load up the VPN.
The question is, should I start it when it starts on my screen?
Well, might as well. I do think it's their feed. Like every time I load it, it comes up, and I've got the Chelsea lineup on my screen right now as they go through things with Guyu and Nkuku up front, and the Brummy lad Revan up front on the left-hand side. Oh no, RKO, are you an ESPN guy? You can't get CB. So Golazo is, I understand, part of the Paramount system for those in the US. And so if you're able to load it up that way, you might be able to find it. And I'm frozen. I'm sitting there staring at the Wrexham screen. Stuck. No broadcasting. Nothing. McLean looks like 8 years younger with his haircut, doesn't he?
I haven't seen a picture of him, but yeah, he's got the tight haircut.
All right.
This is getting close to kickoff, Sean.
It looks like I'm running. I got everybody streaking around all over the place. I've got the lineup cards all out. The cards that I've got on the side or that will come up are anticipated to be a little bit off. So don't mind that. Just because the numbers have changed and I haven't updated all of those numbers. But we're getting closer and closer to it.
Why don't I transition?
Stephen, I pinned it. It's no longer iFollow, and this is the message that everybody's got. You can't go to iFollow. You have to go to videos or go to the main page and then click on iFollow, and it'll take you to videos as the URL. And even when you get in there, you can't load the game up from the first page. You have to click in the submenu subscriptions. It is a bit of a process, and I'm hoping I can help guide you through it if you get there. But easiest way is probably go to the main page and click iFollow from there. You'll find it.
Here we go,
You'll
Sean.
see the word subscriptions and do it. And I'm still waiting for mine to get caught up. So I've got a good feed here. So I'll go with my clock when it starts as they're counting down from 10. We are underway, and you can run that clock. And I'm got broadcasting in my ear, and everything seems to be working. And we're going to get started. When I see the clock, I'll tell you when I get to 30 seconds, and away we go as Wrexham has it, flips it down the field. And I guess it's Sanchez who punts it away 12 seconds in. Headed up. Here we go. Oh, man. As soon as the game starts, here I was talking. As long as it's better than 5-0, it's all right. The game gets underway, and I'm going bury these guys. Take care of the Blues. It gets drawn all back to Ogonkwo in the box. And we'll have a look around. So it is TOC on the right. Max is over on the left, and that's Kluworth on the right and Brunt up in the middle. I'm going to get Kluworth and Brunt mixed up all year with their 3 and 4. They need to do something different with their haircuts. That's an early offside call on a long thump down, and I forgot to count it out for you, Brendan. So let's do that. He'll be in my ear, by the way, as you're going through this, as I get to the 1 minute mark in 3, 2, 1, and you probably didn't get that. I'll do 1 minute. Okay, so we're good with the time. That's where we're at. Chelsea with possession, working down the right-hand side. So McLean's going to be to the forwards over on the right-hand side, Palmer on the left, it looks like, which is interesting given that he's a left footer. And I'm going to bring the chat up as we are all underway, and I'll try to follow along to make sure everybody gets that. I'm 60 seconds behind. Yikes. Ruth found it. It's on ESPN2 in the US in the hotel. See, that's going to be the kicker for you guys, is if it's with Golazo, you may have to pay for that $6 membership for Paramount just to be able to get it. Diandra says 3-0 on the score predictions for Chelsea. Stephen R's asked for the predictions. Feel free to dump those into the chat next preseason, in the other preseason games. I hear an oh my God. No spoilers, guys. No spoilers if that's about the game. But during the season, we're going to be fisticuffs. Fisticuffs. That's fascinating. Yeah, I don't think that is that the Irish frustration coming in. I don't know what happened there. That's Colwill for Chelsea, McLean for us, and I didn't see what was the impetus to that whole thing, but they ended up grabbing each other by the collars. McLean's going, I didn't do anything. So let's have a look at this. Colwell has it. He's got it. He's looking for a pass, and he gets a little bump in the thigh, and they end up standing up and grabs him by the collar, and they're fascinating. I don't think there was much in that challenge, even if it was a preseason. But then if you're James McLean, you come with a reputation, right? Levi Colwell, born in Southampton, he will be loved by many in England. Yeah, I thought it was a football play. I mean, a little bit late on it, sure. Was there anything really in it? Not really. Oversensitive is what I will call the Blues. Oversensitive. But at least it wasn't Copa America diving. Nicked, and he was playing advantage. He was going to give a free kick here from 22 yards out. That was another soft one. And maybe this is just a byproduct of the referee now trying to keep even heads here, keep everything cool. As he blows that one down on what was indiscriminate, not much in that to me, but they're going to be 24 yards out over to the right side of Algonquin, the wall being set up, and this one's got some heat. Never a bad thing. It's always more fun when you got a little bit of heat. So McLean and Dobson, they're asking for 2 more to join into the line. Here's Lee that joins him, and they're asking for 1 more. Whistle blows. It's going to be the right footer, and here comes over top shot on goal. Oof. Outside of the post, but it was one of those things. The near side of the post, lots of people said if Algonquin has an issue with the shot stopping ability, it's his near side post. But that one missed wide. I don't actually know if he would have been there had that have been perfectly placed. But, no, he would have had that covered. Had that covered. No big deal. And there's James, the captain, on the screen, number 24, as Chelsea has it set up in the midfield. And drawing it back. Over to Colwell, who now we know his name. And this is sort of what I was expecting, to be fair, this little sequence, is it was going to be the young guys owning the possession side and us setting up and hopefully not shelling into a turtle for the entirety of 90 minutes. But I do think we're going to be called upon to make some defensive plays and counterpunch more than take the play to them. We shall see. Colwell with it, draws it in, and it gets pulled back, and McLean's not able to nick it. And it goes all the way back to Badiashile and over to the right-hand side. Badiashile, Colwell. Midfield stripe moving forward. Oh, the Wrexham chant. Loud and proud. That better happen in Vancouver. The not so friendly. That's exactly it. The word friendly is out. It's gonna be a battle. G and G. Is that W and G's brother? Kim just said, F your king to a royalist. McLean with it. Jumping tackle there. Fortunate that he got all ball Lavia on that tackle on McLean, and it goes all the way back to Badiashile. 10 yards away from the midfield stripe and moving forward. I am going to be screaming and obnoxiously loud. I apologize to Brendan in advance. I'm going to be trying to get the crowd going. And Wrexham has the ball on a turnover. Giving away Jones over to the right-hand side. Bolton looping it in. That was actually a good ball, and it's right there. And I should have left it for Revan, but Lee played it. Didn't know Revan was there, and it's going to get headed over to the keeper, Sanchez. Hard touching. I don't know if Lee knew that he had Revan behind. Maybe a little bit of communication, lack of familiarity. Hopefully that goes over the course of the year, because I think Revan had a play on that ball. Yeah. Now, James, you're going to have to clarify. Bay Area has proper football fans. Are you talking football like as in the 49ers fans, or are you talking football as in like proper football? Aviation American chin on the banner. It's just kicked around. I think they said that it was 4-1 Bournemouth to Wrexham fans for the first game. I would expect it to be 50-50. But the other thing is, Fearless and Devotion just did a podcast as Chelsea starting to move forward 35 yards, but before they draw it back. Fearless and Devotion did a podcast with Men in Blazers where he was talking about the game that they had against Chelsea in the first one. And there was somebody with the Chelsea club that he wouldn't name who was higher up, who was just almost despondent at the fact that he was like, it's 45% Wrexham out there in the stadium. How is it 45% Wrexham? We were just in the Champions League. What's happening? The power of Wrexham compels you. That's really it. Do I need a cross? The power of Wrexham compels you. Yeah, and I don't know in the U.S. where hotbeds are and hotbeds are not. I know Portland and Seattle have decent fans, but that's just because I see them coming up here. Denise's mummy stepping up for the win. So far, woman of the match, Denise's mom, who found the game for all the way back to Sanchez. Lots of possession. I haven't brought up the FOTMOB stats, and I could do that, but I'm going to guess they're at about 66%, maybe even 70%, and I can do that now. I mean, I wonder how many fans are fans of both teams and torn on who to root for. Yeah, the joys of always having a secondary team to our Villa fan that's there. Real football, not throw ball. Oh, and I just hit the buffer. I knew it was going to happen. 9 minutes and 28 seconds. We'll see where we end up coming back. I'm loading up the FOTMOB, but I hope to God that's not me that just because I loaded up FOTMOB that decided to 81% possession for Chelsea. And I'm staying where I'm at 9:29. I'm going to have to hit refresh at some point in time dangerously as it's not moving me forward. And Brendan, you may have to end up jumping in here if it continues for too much longer. 9:53. There's the sudden jump. 9:53 and coming up onto 10 minutes on the scoreboard, and I buffer again. I'm going to close this off. And there is something to note with the last two games, both Bournemouth and this one, is the fans got in really late, and I think it's maybe not able to handle the influx from the fan zone, but something to keep in mind and entering the stadium in Vancouver if you're going. You might want to start earlier than you thought to be able to get in there. As I'm at 10 minutes and 31 seconds and jumping forward, I'll remind at 11 as I get closer. 84% possession, but just one shot as the young guys just kicking it around in the back, and we seem to be fine with it. This is now an exercise in defense. 10:50 and counting towards 11 minutes. No, nobody roots for Chelsea and Wrexham. That fan does not exist. So I'm Sean Stephen. What would you say? I need transfers before a backup center back for EOC as Colwell steps in on McLean. No fisticuffs. No extras after that one. Maybe a word on the flyby there. I think the biggest thing that Wrexham is looking for is we anticipate we need somebody else up front. For Wrexham fans, Mullen, we're confident in him. He's been there for us for 3 years now, and steady as all the way through. But he's injured to start the year. We've got Marriott to fill in his role, but Marriott 300 minutes, I think somebody said earlier, and no goals. That's the question mark for us. So I think defensively we're fine. Midfield for League One, we're certainly capable. Where I think and I just did another jump to 12 minutes. This is going to be frustrating for me. The good thing is they're still kicking around the ball around in the middle of the pitch, and nothing really changes. W&G, I do not. I do take interest in the Olympics. I haven't really got involved in these ones. Maybe I'll catch the bug, but I didn't even know that the opening ceremonies were today. So. Yeah. 1 goal. Sorry. 1 goal. You're right. And that right at the end of the game and the Forest Green Rovers game that they won, I think it was his opener, if I remember. He got the last one forward as that one gets kicked out, and Wrexham's got Revan looking at the throw, and is finally the ball is, if not at the foot of Wrexham while we're waiting for the throw, and in our hands, in control of our destiny, coming up to the 13-minute mark, and 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Kim says if Wrexham gets 30%, see, now I want to see this eating the hat exercise for Kim. So I hope they just kick it around in the back, although they're chasing us down and putting the pressure on. Kluwerth, long thumping ball forward, headed forward, and McLean's going to have to do the chase. And it just gets backed by Toshin, I'm assuming. Tozen. Louis Barry. Hey, I remember Barry lighting up things in League Two for us last year. I think that there would be people who wouldn't have an issue with that, especially considering we've been looking at Newport for a substitute, and I'd rather have Barry. But I think we're looking for a young loan from a Prem team, a Lancashire from Tottenham, looking for Jebison from Bournemouth, somewhere along those lines. As Wrexham increasing our possession again, draw it all back, and that'll be Brunt back there getting it over to Max, and Ogonko doesn't get it first. Thump. A 2-hour VAR decision. The Argentinian thing is going to be interesting for Chelsea because of the Enzo situation and what he was singing after the win there, taking shots at teams who have domestic players who may have ethnicities and history in their upbringing that are different than the nationalities to which they represent. So Cole, I'll tell you, this is going to be a boring game to match or to call. Coming up to 14 minutes 40 seconds just passed. Is they're just going to sit around the midfield stripe and kick it between their three center backs. It's going to be Colwell, James, Badishield playing catch. That one finally forward, headed away nicely. And it gets set up there by George Dobson, who nicely draws it over to TOC. Long, looping, left ball. McLean looked to chase it, easily headed away by, I'm going to say Tozin. My apologies to Chelsea fans who are going to lose their melon at my mispronunciation. But the nice part is, it doesn't matter. Badishield. 5 yards away. RKO's everyone. Is it on ESPN Deporte that I imagine an RKO? That's where I anticipate it's going to be. 1,000 lateral pass game. This is just going to be nuts. There's something different. Lavia came back and touched the ball. We now have 5 Chelsea players at the midfield stripe. Colwell. Yeah, it was and a miraculous first half of the season. And then things sort of moved around, but Barry destroyed us in that first game. He carved us up through the middle at a time when we didn't have an answer. I think Parkey appropriately adjusted the back line and found some people who were maybe less aerial specialists and more specialists through the ground, and it worked. As Palmer looks for McLean and I get a massive jump. Nothing comes out of that one, and I'm now at 16 minutes and 45 seconds as this feed has me scrambled. Did somebody ask where Mullen was, did you say? It hasn't popped up on my chat. It's now I get a buffer, probably because I jumped too far forward. Mullen's injured. He's back in Wales, rehabbing, and supposed to be, I think the timeline's 4 to 6 weeks, isn't it, into the season, Brennan, if you're in my ear and can update me on that one. But he's recovering from surgery. The gold. I bought it. I bought the gold jersey, W&G. It was it was a must do. I mean, I've got the black, so I decided that wasn't one I was going to buy. I would buy it if I didn't have to pay the duty and the taxes 3 times over. Yeah, he had, and I don't even know what the surgery was, but they said it wasn't that significant, but it was going to take some time to rehab. And so he's out for the first 6 times. I believe it to be a lingering issue. We didn't get very many details unless somebody else secretly knows the story, as we're going to get a corner for the first time. Bulging disc, minor spine or back surgery. Oh, that was dangerous right-footed in-swinger that's crossed through. into the box. It's kind of skipped by a bunch of scrambling players and nobody able to get into it. Nagging injury, and that's was as it was described, as it was headed onto the far post, but so flicked onto the far post. Couldn't get grabbed there by Nkuku. Yeah, 18 minutes, 30 seconds in for me, and that was the shot. Second shot of the game. Dobson goes up, Nick's possession. It almost looked like he put his hand on the ball, but nothing from that. And a giveaway there on a lazy pass. And so now we're a little bit having to come back and scramble for possession, as that was that Elliot Lee with that kick and pass, or was that James Jones? I can't tell. 30-38, I believe that's Jones, as I'm looking at where they are positionally with Lee on the other side. Revan getting challenged, beats down the line, and Revan gets there. Nice little play to block it, but it's going to go for a corner. Chelsea's right, going to get a corner as Revan able to get that block. A little bit of activity, a little bit of action. Not a bad thing. And Revan's got pace, and with that little flick and run around there, Revan did well to get back, but that was a bit of a mass scramble as we're going to get the ball, and it looks like it's going to be a right-footed outswinger from the right-hand side. Here comes pounded through, handball, blown down. Unintentional, but had it away from his body, and it scrambled, missed the kick, and it knocked him in the arm, and away we go. Ogonko will take that, and let's see what we can get for possession going the other way. Do something. 82% possession. Fun fact, neither team has lost in their last 6 matches going back to last season, if that's a stat that you're interested in. I'm with you. I like our wingbacks. I like our midfield. I like our center back, except we need one more backup in the middle of that center back team. And if that's Brunt who's going to fill in for EOC, maybe, but I think we'd be better off with one more. There are discussions. Wonderboy on Twitter, if you don't follow, was talking about, and there's another guy on Red Passion who seemed to have inside connections, who were talking about that we're talking to 2 to 4 players still at the moment. So 0-0, we'll take it, largely because they're not coming after us. Was it hamstring, Woody, or was it a bulging disc back issue? Yeah, I'm fixing a bunch of my graphics. The numbers are wrong, and I've got Cluworth as being Welsh nationality. He's not. So there's a couple. If you see those, by all means, clean them up. As I'm going through the process of automating my graphic creation so that I can spend more time with my kids and my wife. But yes, ESPN in the US, Paramount Plus in Australia. I follow everywhere else unless you're in Africa. There's another. The rule with streaming is go to livesoccertv.net or .com. One of the two, and they have all of the streams, and they do a pretty good job of keeping up to date for everybody. Yellow card, first one of the match. Dobson, that's sort of his second foul. He's not happy with it. I'd have to see that play again as Ngoku goes down. Ball pushed forward. There you go. Raymond's in Wrexham. Saw Mullen in the gym pool the other day with the club physio. So it's good to see that he's up and at it and doing the stuff he needs to rehab. Anticipate him. We know he'll come back and be solid. As the free kick right when he goes to take it with his left foot, and I get the buffer. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and I missed. Oh, I thought he was going direct for goal, but he goes past. Let's go, Red. Reese. I missed that, sir, and I appreciate it with the donation. Much appreciated, as I missed that on my feed as it happened live. But 3-7s. If you're interested, the memberships are there for you to sign up if you don't have one. $1 reoccurring every month, just to show a little bit of support. As there's a free kick going to us. Revan gets twisted up and turned over. Revan, they're calling him. There's the pronunciation. I don't know, W&G. From what I've heard defensively, is he's solid. I mean, he wore the captain's armband and was the best player on was it Charlton? On a team that was struggling. I didn't look up how many yellow cards he got last year. I mean, I can pull that stat. We have the capacity to do that, or even Brendan, who still needs a nickname, Producer B in the background. Headed up, Palmer gets it over to McLean. I'm at 24 minutes and 20 seconds. Revan they play a you take it, I take it, and it ends up going back, and the press is on, and Chelsea ends up nicking the ball, and we're out of position now. Scrambling back, 4-on-2, 4-on-3 into the 18-yard box, and EOC is able to come back and knock it free, and Dobson plays it forward. Woo! Dobson able to get there, but unfortunate with that giveaway. Got to make sure you clean that up as it gets not cleared out, kept into play, and we're going to maintain a little bit of possession here. I'll be honest, still a little bit outclassed, but not to be outside the realm of expectations, given that it's probably a 200 million quid lineup that we're facing. Four Walls, Irish Whiskey, Aviation Gin, all the ads on the boards related to the Wrexham club. And I've got a 2-year-old running around in the room aimlessly looking for attention. McLean gets the ball forward, gets over, and not able to maintain it. And it's Colwell who advances it forward. Gotta love the unpredictability of my household. Offside, but McLean's not even going to play it. He knew and says, I didn't even touch the ball. Let him play it. Play on. Come on, you guys. And I'll have to do a time update here as we go through, just because it's buffered and I'm watching a replay here on that. He probably should have taken that right-footed attempt. That's Madueke, who went in there and then paused not to take the shot. He had an open lane, nobody blocking him, but he would have had to go near shot, and it had to be something special to shoot it. But instead, he pulls it back, and the ball gets nicked. This nice little defensive play again by TOC, and it gets cleared out by Dobson. Going to go for a corner over on the right-hand side. It's 26 minutes, 15 seconds, and counting up. I'll do another update at 26 minutes, 30 seconds. Dobson, to me, looks like that schoolboy lad. Like, if you were to take a prototypical schoolboy lad and put him in a suit and have him play on the middle school playground playing ball, dangerous. Badia Shell not able to get his foot on the ball, clears out to the end of the 18-yard boxes. That was just a mass scramble. Are we, DeAndrew, keeping up on possession? We're going to get a free kick and a yellow card. Badia Shill taking it for slowing us down in a counter-attack position. Right-footed out swinger, and Badia Shill had an opportunity, and he just sort of whiffed on it. I got two of them, Spencer and Walter. That was Walter who's running in here. He's the devious one. The other one knows, and he'll stay out there and come say hi. But the youngest one, he doesn't listen to nothing. And so he'll probably make more than one appearance over the course of the year. That's a T-shirt idea. A cartoon character of my kid peeking over the desk or into the camera or something. Is boots up. Somebody, is that Dobson who went down? We've got a player down. The boots were up, and the referee's saying, get up. 27 minutes, 43 seconds for me. Considered to be fair, and I haven't seen whether the player's getting back up is. I will take 27% possession. It didn't look like there was contact with. Oh, no, I don't think that was a flop. That was a boot right up to the head. Didn't catch him with the studs, but it caught him with the outside right part of the boot, it looked like on that replay. Pretty sure that sounded like Pearl. Nice little pass up to Revan down the left-hand side. Is he going to be able to find McLean on the bus forward? And McLean chasing it up, 18-yard box. He's got an opportunity. Left-footed. Blasted into the keeper. Well done, though. Nobody else up there. But Lee did get kicked in the face there. Fortunate not the boot, but he did take like the studs, but he did get the right side. Right-footed this time from the edge. Not able. It's blocked down, and Palmer on the wrong side of the, not to his fault, but unable to get to the ball. Headed forward. Brunt looking to cross it over to Revan. He's got open space. Chests it down too far. Trying to scramble and collect it, but that's wrapped up neatly by Toshin and pumped down the rest of the pitch. Clueworth putting the switch on. Bolton says, no, not this way. Let's bring it back, and Clueworth has it. James Jones with the ball. Oh, turnover. Going to be a 3-on-2. Brunt gave that one away. And here comes Chelsea the other way. George. And are they saying offside? The 18-year-old's getting a little overexcited. They had an opportunity, and they scrambled, and they pulled a Billy Waters and yipped the hell out of it. Yeah, McLean up there, nobody else around him. He's got a free opportunity at goal. I think you have to take that. We can talk about that one at the half is what else do you do? Long ball. Not a good free kick. It goes too far right. And Palmer's got a message to deliver. Chelsea with control. I will be honest watching this one. Ollie, not nearly as active, and Brendan, who's in my ear, and I'm happy to share his wisdom, talking about McLean's effectiveness at causing at least a little bit of trouble with the press up front and doing a good job. Palmer looks like he's out for a Sunday jog. I will take it. Looking well. Kim, Elliot Lee doesn't start playing until he gets kicked in the face. He's like a wind-up doll. You give him the boots, and all of a sudden it's going. Palmer with a little bit of hustle here, but it's going to go too far back, and it's all the way back to Sanchez on the edge of his box. %30 possession is the update in my ear, which is positive news. And there's been more interplay. The press still effective by Chelsea, but we're able to get it around as that looks like Brunt over on that side over to Clueworth. Jones not able to get it. He's tackled, but a little too aggressively on Jones was Lavia, and it's going to turn the other way. Kim Palmer brought his lawn chair again. If you're not chasing Palmer down with a long ball and looking for him to hold things up and wait for the play to develop around him, I think he's not the type of player that you play through the floor with. And that's why I'm curious as to what's going to happen over the course of the year. Is Clueworth the new number 4? And they say that went out and nobody agrees, and Jones plays it on. Left-footed, switches on over to Revan, who knocked it down with a nice touch on the left foot. 18-yard box, draws it back. That looked like Clueworth got all the way over from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And it may just be the pixelated nature of my broadcast making the 4, the 3, and the 6 look very similar as we're at 32 minutes and 45 seconds. Whoo-wee! I missed this. Let's just throw the sidebar. And we still don't know. I think Josh is going to do from the local pundit, probably jump on this channel and do the watch party while Brendan and I are at the match. But stay tuned to that because I'll have the phone, and every time something's going on and something's happening, I'm just going to put up live feeds wherever I'm at and say hi. So I imagine there's going to be little tidbits all over the place, maybe even one from the airport as Brendan comes strolling through the YVR. Chelsea with it, gives it away. Nobody up there, and it just gets nicked out of Palmer's pocket. That was not a good giveaway by James, but a very nice recovery as it's McLean and Palmer holding each other's hand in the midfield, trying to scramble over the ball before it comes back to Toshin, and they're working down the right-hand side against Revan. The official bank of the WrexCoast Tour. Who is the official bank of the WrexCoast Tour? Sideboards. Ally. That makes sense. That all makes sense. Oh, nice touch there. As soon as I say nice touch, everything buffers. They're standing 20 yards out, left foot, 33 minutes and 58 seconds. I've hit the hardcore pause. And now I'm going again. Just outside the 18-yard box, right-footed cross, far post, and Revan flicks it on, and it's going to go for a corner. A 5-2-3-1. I think if we were to go to any setup other than the 5-3-2, it would be the 4-4-2 diamond. And that's only just because we have so many people in the midfield as McElhaney. He looks like he's been buffing up. Maybe he had to for the Deadpool movie. We still don't know what part he played as an extra. Did they kill him off? Left-footed out swinger, headed away, but it's 18-yard box. Stands up for George. Thinks about the right, doesn't take it. Bounces around, back of the net. Nkunku, that played pinball all through the midfield, all through the inside of the box. I don't know what you do there. As George had it out on the right, pumps it a hard one in and ends up hitting the defender and bounces back, and everybody's spinning around in circles. And that replay has got McElhaney smiling evilly in the background as it's 1-0 and the Chelsea flags are flying. So have a look at this one as it comes out on the corner. Nothing much there. It gets headed out, but it lands right on the feet of George to the left side. 20 yards out. Fakes is a right. Hammers a right. And it hits, looks like Brunt. And nothing Brunt can do about this one. Lands, hits him in the back or hits the attacker that's there. And Nkunku picks it up and just scoops it to the right-hand side. Mass scramble. A little bit of luck. Some fortuitous play. And part of the plan. I mean, rebound goals are a thing. Oak was scrambling. Would have liked to have seen that header get pushed, I think, away further to the right or to the left rather than just flicked on. But I'm with you, Patrick. Nothing I think Ogonko could have done about that one. I mean, that rebound came right to the foot of an attacker. There were three of them there. Palmer puts the hustle on, comes forward. Revan not able to get to the ball that was played by Sanchez forward. Bugger. 1-0 for the bad guys. Ooh, that's a nice ball forward. Ogonko is going to come right out to the edge of the box, and he's not able to get it. And Ogonko's out of position, over and punched away. Brunt with the nice little defensive play, but it ain't over yet. 30 yards out. A little bit of scramble now. A little bit of scrambling, whether that's Chelsea looking to Pierce and doing it more effectively, or whether it's us just getting a little unsettled, or a combination of the two. But George misplayed that one. That was a really good ball forward as soon as it happened, because you knew that was in a dangerous territory from the left-hand side, because it was right on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's going to be a big ask for Ogonko to get there, and he doesn't. But fortunately, everybody's able to get back in support, and Brunt gives that nice little nutmeg tackle, and it goes the other way. Alex T., how are you? That was Cleworth with the push through the nutmeg. I'm going to probably do that all season long. Take these off, maybe. And the other thing that you guys will have to be getting used to is I'm just hit my 50th day of not having a cigarette, but I still do these Nicorettes when the stress gets going. And I will blast through those ones, I'm sure. Well defended there by Brunt, held up the defender, gets grabbed by the shoulders and goes to ground. And so that's going to end up being a free kick out of the box. Georges looked good with those little chips. I mean, I don't know what Gui, the young Barcelona signing for Chelsea was going to do in that situation. We're going to have to talk to Max and Lewis about changing their hairstyles up sufficiently, or if any of them can grow facial hair, I'll take that too. Since the first one, I'll admit, maybe it's a midweek game, and that's why it's a lot quieter today. As far as everybody's there, a gentle reminder to bump that subscribe button, bump the like button, and allow the YouTube analytic gods to let us know that we're here. Thanks, RKO. Best thing to do is when you get really, really sick, take that as an opportunity to quit. I got sick for about 3 weeks, and it was very easy just not to get into it. No, nothing carries over into the regular season. Red cards, I'm not so sure about. No yellow card accumulation, I'm 100% certain of. I don't believe red cards carry over. That would be foolish, to be fair. 5 offsides, Kim says. To be fair, I haven't been as frustrated as the Chelsea one was just, okay, we're outclassed, as that's going to be a free kick going the other way, and probably a yellow card. Well, I thought that was holding up a attacking opportunity, not to the point that it deserved a red, but one that ends up saying that professional foul gets you a yellow. But the referee says nah to that, and we're back underway. 39 minutes, 55 seconds. And bumped forward. Oof. Hammered off a Bolton, and that's going to be a throw-in. Anybody pick up a flu, make sure you cough into an envelope and get RKO's address so that he can get sick and get off the nicotine. Doesn't Dobson look like he could be in a schoolboy, like school uniform, playing out on the pitch during lunch? I don't know. He looks like the prototypical middle schooler, just not in uniform. We play a 5-3-2 with the 2 wing backs who come all the way back. So it's 3 center backs, effectively with the 2 wing backs who act in support and have to run the whole length of the field in Bolton and Revan. And there's the jump to 41 minutes. Josh! Logging in from the game says we need a striker, and he's not wrong. You're supposed to be watching the game in San Francisco, my friend. Josh probably going to be picking up the Vancouver match and broadcasting off of both streams while Brendan and I enjoy ourselves. Hopefully you can hear it. Other than the Wrexham that's the bar that's been set for Vancouver that we need to beat. And I think we can do that. There's another one. Kim says he could be in Peaky Blinders, and that's certainly fair too. Nil and RKO is asking for somebody to cough into that envelope. Please. Yeah, local job. Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm envious of you watching all the pictures and come through. If you guys aren't a part of the Discord that the local pundit has, it's out there and available, and you can check his stuff out as he's had some interviews with some players and some meet and greet and handshakes and all sorts of stuff going on. I'm looking forward to my turn. I think, Ruth, that producer B, or whatever nickname we go with, will agree with you that Revan is rapidly becoming one of his favorites too. As he said before the start of it, after one game, how do you get him out of the lineup? McLean and him on the left-hand side is a logjam, so you're going to have to find a way for somebody to go. So I'm the only one who saw schoolboy Dobson. Everybody else is Peaky Blinders Dobson. Fair enough. I'll Photoshop a schoolboy outfit on him yet. Maybe with a Peaky Blinders hat. Cleared out, and we're going to get a throw in. Is the possession stats slightly maybe bumping in our favor? Not really, back down to 29%. 6 shots to 2, each with 1 on target, and they've had the 1 shot. There is a lot in that Discord. You want to learn? You want some barbecue tips? They're in there. You want some gaming stuff? It's in there. Jinx. Steven lets us know that Arsenal up 1-0 on Bournemouth. If we really wanted to be obnoxious after that Bournemouth result, we could definitely say that we can run with a lower tier Prem club. Although it's impossible in friendlies to know where you really sit. Ravan is Revan. George has looked really good. Out of the Chelsea players, I will say he's probably close to a handball, not blown down. Interesting, because it was an awkward position, similar to the handball that the Chelsea player had, not intentional, but hand was away from the body. I think it did make contact, but maybe he's saying that caught the shoulder. Broadcaster saying that would have been harsh. One of those things, easier to call a handball defensively and have it go the other way than a handball offensively and give the team a penalty because it happened in the 18-yard box. Badiashile moves it forward. Guyu. It's a great name, Guyu. And as we said, we're going to have a large shakeup in availability for subs to come moving in. Davies, Bickerstaff, Waters, Dalby, Marriott, all up front. I guess Davies not a forward, but Bickerstaff, Waters, Dalby, Marriott, 4 potentially to come off the bench. We will not be changing our back line. Only Boyle, and that would be anticipated that that's a change for TOC. So I think we're going to see Max and Brunt throughout, unless Evans plays in the back line in the second half. Only 1 minute of added time. We're 15 minutes through it, and then we'll have a chat and bring Brendan in and see what everybody's thoughts are. I think not a lot of people excited about this one just because everyone expected it to be lopsided. It has been in possession, but it hasn't been an opportunity. I think you go in down 1-0 given what happened last year and the quality and the expense of the lineup that Chelsea has had, and you take it. I think you take it. Are we going to take our time and throw it back and just have that forward? McElhaney doing an interview, it sounds like, at the half. It's the hair gel on Dobson. Yeah, Nash does the same thing, full tube. And Morgan flying the dragon. Offside? No offside. 3 players up. We got an opportunity here late. Right footer and easily blocked away. Had numbers, 4 guys up. Would like to see them maybe a little bit more there. Thought the flag was going to come, and the broadcaster's even saying that, and it didn't happen. So it is what it is we're at the half. Stop that. Brendan's going to jump in here, and McElhaney's going to go up and do an interview. We'll see what that is. Revan last year for Rotherham. Is that who it was, or was it Charlton? I looked up his stats wherever he played anyways, and he played 3 quarters over on the left-hand side, but he actually played some center back and some over on the right-hand side as well. So it intrigued me because all the highlights had him buzzing around with goal-scoring opportunities, even though I think he only scored 2 or 3 last year. And the highlight of the match so far, the McLean thigh bump that turned into a little bit of a tiff, a discussion, a talking piece. Brendan, have you swapping over?
I have. You were talking. I didn't want to interrupt. I have the Fought Mob stats up in the big window.
I appreciate that. So the Fought Mob stats are up there. And here's the thing is it takes me so long on the YouTube thing that you'll probably have to lead me through the Fought Mob stuff myself unless I load it up because it takes so long for it to end up showing on the screen for me. So why don't you go ahead and walk us through them?
Sure. We ended up with 26% possession, 6 shots to 3, 1 shot on target each, 1 big chance for them, none for us. Accurate passes, we were 78%. They were 91%. They had 5 fouls, and we had 4. They had 4 corners. We had none.
And I'm curious as to with the pass percentage, they're at 91%. Do they give you an idea? What are they at? About 320 passes so far?
Almost 350. They had 349.
Darn, that was close.
Yeah, we had 106.
Yeah, it was, as Kim said earlier on during the first half there, this lateral pass after lateral pass are going for 1,000 by the end of the game. I always love the obvious statements that Kim throws out there. Wrexham will be much better when they start using 100% of the field instead of 67. I mean, I don't know what you do in a circumstance where you've got young kids with talent who are looking to prey upon you and you overexpose yourself. And we didn't really give that to them. And they only really broke us down with 2 opportunities, and one of them went into the back of the net. So Levi Stadium, 70,000 people. I'm going to say that probably looks like it's half full. I mean, the whole upper band is empty, but looks like 30, 35,000, which is what we're kind of expecting for the Wrexham match, although it will have a lower bowl entirely full. It looks like are pretty damn close. BC Place, if you've never been in that stadium, is a cavernous old girl, and it's hard to get the volume going, and the crowds tend to be pretty reserved. The Southsiders, which is Whitecaps support group, might disagree with me, but and I want to win the game, but I do want Vancouver to score only for the most polite chant that exists in football. Like it's a complete Canadian chant, and we'll see how that all goes. Roller coaster in the background, Levi Stadium. I don't even know what's behind Levi Stadium to have a roller coaster there.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've been to San Francisco but not down south the Santa Barbara area. Not Santa Barbara, Santa Clara area. San Jose. That I didn't go that way. I was mostly in Oakland. Made my way to the Oakland A's stadium. What a fun experience that was. Sarcasm. So I don't know. Your thoughts first half, Brennan? How did we do? How did they look?
I thought we looked pretty decent. Thought Cluett looked really good. Brunt looked not so good. A lot of mistakes, I think, by him. I thought Jones looked poor, and so did Palmer. Everyone else looked pretty good to me, although Lee was somewhat invisible. I was hoping he'd kind of break out of that. He fell into that last half of last year, and we never saw him again. I didn't see him picking anything. I didn't see any great plays or passes. Kind of just non-existent out there. Was hoping for more. Dobson looked really good, I thought. He was getting in there, getting in the plays often. Bolton looked fine. Revan held up pretty good. They almost got past him a couple times, but overall he was solid. And
he had like 2 plays off the chest that was a little bit heavy, I thought. Everything else was great, but the higher ball, I thought that he maybe struggled with a little bit. Preseason jitters, all that sort of stuff. As we're watching the Raspberry Swirls run out in the middle of the pitch here. The Raspberry Swirls being the new Betty Buzz warm-up kits. If those go on sale, those are going to disappear like hotcakes. I think probably more than any other jersey. Do you think that's true?
No, that gold is the shirt.
The gold one that was released today or last night?
Yeah. And the shorts.
That one up.
They're going to sell out on the shorts too.
The black one just better not be nice. I'm going to be asking for Christmas presents, I'm sure, as we go through that one.
They also showed an image of white ones, and the white looked good. I'd get both because they're in the basketball style. So I really like them.
Loving the camera person, by the way. I don't know if you guys are getting this, showing the stadium, and I would guess that this stadium's. I mean, that is the Wrexham supporter side. It looks like, but it was predominantly Wrexham jerseys. Displayed
there is a
anyway.
Pretty good Chelsea section where they have flags and everything, but just about everyone else predominantly looks Wrexham. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
You're not seeing
Five-
the McElhaney interview, are you? It's on the ESPN.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to let us know for the internationals, as we've got a camera that's showing just the fans. The camera's going to different fans around the stadium, so you can let us know if he provides any insight there. As clearly we're looking at the Chelsea supporters with all the flags, and there's just one Wrexham jersey mixed in there. So maybe it's 45% again, Chelsea to Wrexham. So you're over here, Brendan. Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing while you're here? I know it's going to be a Wrexham-focused weekend, but is there, other than the game, is there one event in particular that you're excited for, or something that you're hoping that happens?
Yeah, I want 5 minutes with Wayne.
5 minutes with Wayne?
Yeah.
Interesting. I want 5 minutes with the
ask him
CEO.
some questions, because I think that I was definitely upset when I saw the plans for the COP. I thought it was too limiting. I didn't think it was enough. I thought it wasn't a good move because you couldn't expand. You couldn't go around the corners the way it was set up and everything.
But do you mean
I thought
Wayne
it should have
Jones?
been multiple levels, the old design for the COP that they were going to do. And
yeah, but why? But hold on. Why Wayne for the conversation about
because now they've gone back and they said, okay, they're coming up with a new design for that. And I'm figuring they had to go talk to Wayne, because if you look at the Macron stand, it's kind of hooks in on both sides. And it does that only for balance, right? It has to hook in to get around the turf.
Yeah.
So they did it on the other side as well. So the Macron stand is extremely limited. And if you were going to do any sort of stadium with some amount of symmetry, you're really locked in on that Mold Road side. You can only go so close, right? And you could go kind of high with 2 levels or 3, except that you're going to have to go up and over the turf.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, they had to, any design where you're trying to make that fit anything over 22,000, you're going to have to do something serious on that Mold Road side.
So,
and you'd have to have conversations with Wayne and come up with something, because his land is in a very important place. Like, would they pick up the turf and slide it like down 30-40 feet and give a better footprint for the stands on that side? Or would they build up and over it? Would they build it almost into the stadium? I don't know. There's just
and so you think there would have been conversations?
I went to school initially for architecture, so when I think about how you might design it and everything, I can't believe that they didn't approach Wayne with options and see where he was on certain aspects of it. Would you slide the turf? Could we go up and over and around? Can we buy some of the property and do this?
Interesting, because I want to talk to the CEO, Michael Williamson, the new CEO, or Humphrey, I guess, is the other one, largely to talk about the administrative hiccups, because the marketing, there's no way I could provide any insight or advice on that. I just kind of want to understand some of those blips that I think that occur that I think are easily correctable, and have a chat about that. So if anybody's going to be in Vancouver or knows Michael Williamson, if you're listening from Wrexham and you're able to say, hey, the Red Horde wants to talk to you about things like charging us the VAT. I mean, it's all money that could go to the club, and for me, I'd rather clear those things out and be doing things which are legal to do, that make sure that Wrexham gets full revenue and captures more people. Like the blip about broadcasting here, and me and 2 or 3 others having to lead the way. Oh, there you go. Welsh Techie says he's only the landlord.
Yeah.
Good morning, A2Z. And it's fascinating to me, the UK fans that have stayed up till 3, 4. It's got to be what What time is it over there now? 5 o'clock in the morning? 4 o'clock in the morning? It's a long Wednesday night for those that got work in the morning. Figured it all out. Listed building might not be able to move a single brick of it. Yeah, I might not be able to move a single brick of it, but might be able to go over top, is I guess what Brendan's suggesting. I don't know. The expansion to me is they're going to do whatever they can with the footprint that they've got. I would anticipate, like in a perfect world, they're probably looking at getting suites and maybe some even hotel rooms up on the top. Whatever provides them full marketing capacity to be able to do what they want to do.
I thought they would rotate the field a little bit, to try to get away from the mold road by kind of swinging it.
Well, then you have a problem with the apartment buildings over on the other side.
Well, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, that's addressable. You can't really deal with mold road unless you were to make it into a tunnel, right? Like,
yeah, fair.
That you can't work around. You can buy those apartment buildings, put up others, like grab all that land. That's possible. You can build behind the tech end by quite a bit. I mean, it's a nothing road and then some parking. Like,
yeah, you have to provide.
You have to take down. You can go that way as much as you want. You can go towards the cop as much as you want. It's mold road you can't really address simply. So do you keep most of the field where it is and move the field? But you can't move the field without moving multiple stands at once, right? And that means you can't play games. And apparently the speed in which they build stuff over there, that can't happen because you wouldn't be able to play games, right? Yeah. So it looks like you have to leave the field where it is, work on a stand at a time. And in that scenario, you have to get really creative, I think, on the mold road side.
We've got A2Z asked for thoughts on the game and a 2-minute recap, please. I'll give you my 1 minute, and if it's even that, because there wasn't much to talk about. It was Chelsea playing lateral pass back and forth for predominantly, 2/3 of the match from the center. 2/3 of the match happened with Chelsea with possession at the center line, passing the ball back to each other, which is why they have 320 passes and 91% pass efficiency. They've fortunate on the goal, maybe, but some would say that was all part of the plan. Hammered one in and it came off of Brunt and or the defender and was left there with nothing much Ogonko can do. A player inside the box, stand from about 10, 12 yards out, able to just hammer the ball and pick a corner. So, you've got the conversation here from Bobby Jones saying that Wrexham doing better than they thought they would and the defense looks okay. And that's true. This is better than the 5-0 game that we had. I would say the difference that I recall from the Chelsea game is there was more of a counterpunch and attack. It was just the defense was really leaky. Our defense not leaky in this one, and has held up actually quite well against the younger sort of subs of Chelsea for the year. Not really a lot of starters, but not a lot of people that are looking for a position. These are all players that are going to be playing for Chelsea next year in some capacity. So. We'll see. Did you have anything to add to the 2-minute recap?
No, that's about it. I mean, I didn't think the nice thing about their defense, I didn't think they had a lot of quality chances. I thought they would be able to make more opportunities, considering that there were, I think, a bunch of mistakes on our defensive right side there where Brunt was. That it should have been more over there, and they didn't make a lot of it. So I thought that was great. And if we had someone like Mullen out there, I would think we would have scored. Mullen in place of Palmer. Mullen and the work rate of McLean probably would have got us a goal, I would figure. And I don't think that's a reach. A couple of opportunities where just Palmer just was no good. So
A2Z says, why is McLean up front? He's playing with Palmer. It's Revan over on the left-hand side in the normal position that McLean's in over on the left. On the right-hand side is Bolton. And then Hughes says, Dobson solidifying his place as our CDM. I kind of agree with that, and I anticipated based on the history that it has with Parkey. The thing is I think Evans has up until his injury last year, I had Evans as a potential in the running for player of the year. I just thought he was, if you were going to take if you ever had the opportunity for a defensive midfielder to earn it, I thought that he had the potential to earn
They're about ready to start.
Player of the Year. And I've got them, and they've got subs out there, so I'm going to have a look at the numbers. As there's a new player wearing the armband, and this is how naive I am. I don't even know. Yeah, I've got that. I'll take over. Brennan's going to fall into the background and chirp into my ear as there are a whole bunch of subs, and I'm going to have to figure all of this out as we go through and maybe grab a pen. Chelsea with the ball and waiting on the whistle on my end as we figure everything out. I do think A2Z, Revan and Bolton should be quick fire, and even Barney in that position is fine as we're underway. Just got underway right there, and it's back, and once the clock comes up, I'll do a timer and see where we're at. New center backs, new positions everywhere. Yikes. It's a whole new lineup at the half. It doesn't look like we've made any subs. I'm just canvassing ours as we go through. Is that Boyle? I think I see Boyle over on the left-hand side in the back. Other than that, it looks like TOC's off in favor of Boyle. I'm trying to keep track of. And that looked like Boyle running all the way up there, number. Yep. And Chelsea, I'm going to be fair and honest. I don't see a familiar number, and I'm looking at their lineup, and they didn't put their lineups there. So I might have to bring up the old lineup card so that I can reference who's on a mass changeover. Beach is now the keeper. I know that much. Do we see a number 7 up front? Because this could be interesting here. And I'm just going to take some time to get caught up on who's their new center back, and of course, no number. 29 doesn't match with what's sitting here. Huh. That's a couple of times where there's no numbers, and they're not matching with football refs, so I'm not able to identify this. That's Gusto, the defender playing midfield, who takes a dive, and the referee says, no, not going to flop like a fish in a friendly and get a penalty or free kick. What are we talking about here? Bumped forward, and Lee, that looked a little labored to me. Not much that we've seen him in open space go for a run, but he didn't have that quick little pace that he has. Maybe it's just because we're used to seeing this guy, Revan, blast out of it on the left-hand side. That cross into the foot to Gusto. Deflection, bounces around. Palmer not able to get it, and it's cleared. Peach grabs it, and away they go. 47 minutes, 10 seconds coming up, and mark. Backed into Palmer's there, and man, there's so many jersey numbers that don't match up with the football ref, which will make it hard for me to identify. Boyle is in as a sub. Yes, absolutely. I was looking at that, Dave. Actually, I've got a chart with it of what FIFA recommends for minimum football size and what exists in the EFL as it is, and I was surprised at how big EFL pitches are compared to at least the minimum standard. So there was actually some substantive reduction that you're right could happen. But yes, other than Ruth, the Boyle sub, that's all that's there for us. Fofana, number 33. And they've even got it back. They said Bergstrom is the keeper, but it's clearly Beach. So football ref not really that consistent. Early season bugs. Everybody has their tech glitches as it gets back to Beach. .34 left back. I will say this, the possession not entirely dominated, to at least to start the half, by Chelsea. We've had some opportunity with it, and hopefully we're able to do something. As I just say that, Chelsea turns it over and nicely settles it down in the midfield and crosses the midfield stripe. 48 minutes and 55 seconds, coming up to 49. Palmer not able to keep it in. What do we do with Palmer? I can't see after they put all that money, if I understand correctly, over the offsides, and they added it so that they could heat the pitch. So I don't anticipate it to go down, but I guess you'll do anything for increased capacity if it ends up being merited. Oof. An attempted tackle, and I don't think the Chelsea player knew that Max was there, but Max ended up kind of getting stepped into. He's going to give the free kick. And Raheem Sterling is in. I said going to look for number 7. As Chelsea goes with a bit of a more well-known Fofana out there, Sterling out there. This is closer to their A squad for the second half. So we'll see what Parkey does as a counter punch, but we've got the same lineup minus Boyle is out there instead of Tom O'Connor over on the left side of our center backs. Drawn all the way back to Brunt, over to Max. Play a little bit of lateral as it's a hoofball switch over to the far left side, and Revan to left to run onto it, and just couldn't get the bounce of that. It was actually a good ball forward. Max can do that, drop it on a dime, and it was unfortunate. Defender was able to block off and do their job, but that takes one little extra skip, and it's onto Revan's boot. And we haven't seen how accurate he is, to be completely fair. But looks like Revan's going to get his chances over on that left side. He's not afraid to get into the box and rely on his speed to get back. And they say Bergstrom. So maybe it is Bergstrom and not Beach. Maybe it was a mistake on my end. Didn't look like Bergstrom. Need a screenshot of that. 16. Up to 17. 19. Broha. Yeah, I was talking about that. I just realized producer B, not to be heard. I was talking about the lower the pitch, and it is a good idea, and I think they'll do it if the capacity requires it, but nothing in the immediate, I don't think, because there's a giveaway and Wrexham coming forward, and that's going to be McLean busting on the left-hand side. Draws it over to Lee, further over to the left-hand side, 20 yards out. Got Revan running on the other side of him. Now he's offside, so he's got to draw himself back. And a little bit of a mix-up there on the play, but they get it over to McLean. I can't. They just added the new heating into the pitch, actually, I believe, during this offseason. So I can't see it happening anytime in the immediate, but 5-year, 7-year timeline, who knows? Depending obviously on the growth of the club and the sustainability of all things. As that's crossed in and dangerous, and Ogonko came out and grabbed it. That's the stuff that I like to see. I didn't get most of the names down. Chilwell is out there. I know that much. Wearing the captain's armband. 27 years of age, only had 756 minutes last year. But you look at his 200,000 pounds weekly that he's earning under his contract, and you start to go through Capology if you wanted to find out what the Chelsea roster actually is, and it's expensive compared to what we're paying. And Wrexham sitting close to 70% possession in the second half, which we will definitely take. Producer B in my ear, and that's all the way out over to the right-hand side, left-hand side. Now Chilwell got it. And I get my freeze. And I'm buffering. 53 minutes, 26 seconds, and we'll see where we end up. This is just constantly frustrating, and I'm hoping that iFollow isn't going to be like this for the entire season, because I will have a problem doing a watch party where I'm looking at things, and as I can hear, Palmer did something on the ESPN feed, and I don't have any idea as to what's happening because I'm still buffered. If it happens for another 30 seconds, Brendan, you probably have to draw in as part of the frustration. Getting the broadcast relaying that Kim's reference that he was sitting in, he brought his lawn chairs. Brandon saying Palmer didn't get out of his lawn chair and had an opportunity and didn't go and chase it down. All right, the financials are out there. I'm looking for. I want Chelsea's Chelsea's window. Yeah, you're going to have to come in, Brendan, because I'm stuck at 53.26 and I'm spinning and buffering. So you might have to draw your way back in here and see where we're at.
We just had a good chance by Chelsea.
Reloading.
Coming down the left. They still have possession just outside the box, the far left side. Bolton and Dobson. Dobson and Cleworth covering that. Looks like they're kind of playing 4 across the back here.
But I would. What did that? I'm assuming that's Dobson that's just slid back into that role.
No,
I'm looking at things with.
Is that Bolton on the far right? No, they got 5 now. They were just out of shape. Revan was way up. I thought Cleworth was.
Just going through some of the names in that.
Go ahead.
I am back. I'm at 55-47 now. Chelsea with the ball finally back on it and buffering a little bit as they get over to the right-hand side. But I was looking at some of the names and the salaries of these guys. Sterling that's out there, $325,000 a week. That's almost 17 million for the year. Quid. That's 1.5 times what our entire squad salary is likely. And you've got Chilwell out there over as a left back. Basically his salary alone is worth everything that Wrexham can throw at him. So there are some big dollars being chased and thrown into this one. Cross headed, thumped ball over top, went for 3, probably made the field goal, just getting it over the upright by Sterling. That was Chilwell up to Sterling over on the left-hand side and got pushed Bolton out. Ball out of bounds and a foul. Got away with it is exactly what the broadcaster said. There's the foul. Ball was out of bounds. Yeah, fascinating. I don't know if it was exactly out because you get that circular motion of the ball, and it looked like it was out and bounced out, but you've got to go from the side of the ball. But cleared back by Lee, down to Boyle. Possession by Wrexham and in our own zone, 32 yards away, 57 minutes and 25 seconds on my buffer central iFollow. And I really hope they figure this out because it is chopping, as I know Ogonko is going to thump this down the pitch, but I have no idea where it's going to go. There it goes, off of his boot, down to the middle of the pitch, up in the air, headed down, jumped forward, and Revan has it. He's got Lee to his left. Revan moving forward. Scott Lee. Revan left side moving forward. Left footed cross. It's there and scores. Add 1 and we equalize. It's 1-0. Ball got loose on the left hand side. Crossed through, misplayed, and it ended up on the foot of Bolton, who had all the time and all the space that he needed to. We'll take it. We'll take it. One of those sort of indirect, you're not going to call that the prettiest play that you'd ever seen, but you'll chalk that one up and have a smile on your face as Bolton hammers that one into the back of the net, and no doubter put his foot through it. Woo-hoo! Uh-oh, RKO got a spoiler because I'm so far behind, but we'll take it. Try to do the spoilers if you get a chance. I know I'm so far behind in the way that this is buffering, but a nice little play over to Revan, who ends up putting it through. And so you've got Palmer there, flicks it through, lands over there, and Bolton able to take that, and everybody's a little... Was Palmer offside on that touch? I don't know. It would have been close. If they had a VAR, they might have had a look at it, but I don't care. Potentially offside is what the ESPN broadcasters are saying. I think it was close, but I don't care. They counted it. Let those likes go. Hey, while you're at it, hit the like button on the stream. Let everybody know that we're here. And we're coming again. 59 minutes, 20 seconds coming up in in a second here as Palmer overruns that one. Shannon, how are you? Let's go indeed. We will take it. My word. iFollow. Figure out your business. Anybody else watching on iFollow and not ESPN having an issue with the buffer, or once you got it loaded, was everything fine? Because I'm going to have to end up screaming at somebody, and I don't know whether it's going to be my internet service provider or it's going to be Wrexham AFC or the EFL for providing me a stream that I'm now at the 60th minute right there as it gets deflected. Boyle's going to go back and clean it up. Good stuff. 1-0. Rock it up. Wrexham vows to draw every preseason game 1-1. We'll see if Chelsea agrees with you as I'm still staring at the buffering screen. My word. And the thing is normally when it buffers, everything's good, and then it starts to pick up, and I miss a minute of the match. Just while we're sitting there talking and I'm going through some of the other lineups, Fofana was out there. He's at a salary of a $10.4 million. They've got some players out there with some that are collecting some paychecks. Free kick for Wrexham. They're going to show this again, and of course I'm going to buffer right on the free kick. So is Palmer on or off when this is touched? Yeah. Oh, no, he wasn't off with that. No. He was off with that whole back line, but if you look at the player who was taking on the pass in, they were about 2 feet in front. So he was onside with the player that was over closest to the ball on the cross. But ended up going to Bolton, nowhere to go. So that's how I see it. He certainly looked offside compared to everybody immediately around him. But there's the jump forward for me that I was anticipating as I get to 61 minutes and 20 seconds, and it looks like some subs are there. And yeah, we'll see who all comes in. Marriott makes his appearance. Palmer giving the wave. That's who I'm excited to see. Let's see how Gorgeous George does. Andy Cannon. He looks like he's trimmed out. Do we get to see some Harry Ashfield? That's who I want to see. Ryan Barnett going to go over on the right as a right wing back. Evans and Cannon. Fan favorite. Is he a fan favorite? He is for me, but I will extol the virtues of Mr. Evans, but I think I'm pretty unique in that regard. I admit that I know that a lot of people said that he was MVP of the season, but I don't think he was that solid in the first half for Mr. Cannon. But it took me a while to get around him. It took me a while to get around to EOC as well. Part of the fun is McLean looking left-footed, just draws it back. 35 yards out, and man, this is being so hard to call this thing. Opportunities not able to cash in on sort of the same way that Chelsea scored their goal. You hammer it into the box, you bounce it off of a player, and you hope you get your foot to it. Just not able to on that one. Ugh. It's not there. It's not there. Still 1-1. We're still doing our thing, and I'm at 62 minutes and 48 seconds. And we'll see if Chelsea's able to get into their routine that they were having before. And Brendan, you might have to slide in here again just with how everything's going.
I'm not sure what they're calling there. They're showing a replay of the give and go with McLean. That was nice.
The replay here where they drew it back. Arthur off. Yes, Arthur came off. Burton went in.
Okay, that was a free kick from us. Getting knocked around. We have the ball on the right side. Oh, great pass ahead again. Finally, the defense got back to this one. Goal kick.
I love that play by Cat and just trying to get that little push on and see if he's able to. The number change is going to throw me off, him being the number 8. But
if he can just put his foot on it and knock it out for a corner.
Yeah.
Nice cut across there by Clearworth.
Oof.
This defense is going to be much better. Now they got Gorgeous George back there in for Brunt.
And so that's, I guess, the question for me is with Evans back there instead of Dobson, do we feel like more confident, less confident? Is Dobson still out there, to be fair?
Yeah, what do you mean? He's in for Brunt. He's playing the O'Connell position.
He is playing the EOC position, and that's fascinating to me to find out. Is that a test to see if Evans is going to be a center back for the year?
Isn't that what I said would be the backup?
That's what you, to be fair, said was going to be the backup, was going to be George Evans. I thought that it would be Evans and or Dobson, but apparently Parkey likes his familiarity with Dobson. It has been Bob identifying defense looks much more aggressive and a big pickup in pace this half, and I think that's true. I do think that this lineup is for Chelsea is also more willing to come forward, and I think we've been defending as well, but in a different way, not just in keeping shape and repelling them, but also being able to deal with the longer ball and the build up through the midfield. So, and RKO says it's just part of the tradition. We're a second half team. And the thing, James, Max does look smooth on that back line, but it's his positional play is his best strength. It's not his ability to nick things. He's always in the right spot, and he seems to read the play so very well. As Chelsea's starting to eke its way closer, we'll see if they're able to do something with this. It's pushed forward and pushed back and pushed forward, and it's going to go out for a throw.
I thought they might try Cleworth back there too.
In the center position, you're saying?
Yeah, not a lot, just a little bit.
Yeah, test what you got. Maybe we'll see him playing in that position in the Whitecaps match. Mr. Smith, how are you? Nice to have a fellow. Do I call you a Vancouverite? No. Do I have the right Michael Smith? I'm getting so confused. Or are you Michael Smith from Texas?
Collapsed too much here. Come on, guys. Better form.
Collapsed in, but we're in good shape. Yeah, just nice to have the read. I'm sorry, Michael. I should know this. See, this is what they're sniffing around here around the 18-yard box. Push it forward, and here we come in a potential counterattack, and then a grab around the arm and a grab around the arm. Dalby goes down. How do you solve a problem like a Dalby? No Billy Waters, and so that'll be curious if we end up seeing him, or at least I don't think. No, it's been Marriott and Dalby up front. Boyle with it here. Left footer, looking for Marriott over on the left-hand side, but not far enough to challenge the defender, and it's easily moved forward. And Chelsea with possession now. A little bit more of a press, though. It leaves open up the counterattacks here, but we've got lots of red jerseys coming back as Max on Raheem Sterling. Go on and do your thing, young man. Well, crossed over, far post.
Great
well done by Raheem, and that's what you'd expect. A nice little cross ball forward. 18-yard box just outside. Nice little interplay, but easily swiped, and Burton eats it up.
No one ever touts McLean's defense, but that was nice.
It's the last name that throws me off, Mike, and the fact that you both have a similar haircut that I'm going to get you guys confused all year long, probably until I meet the other one this weekend.
Do you think you're good, Sean, when we transition you back?
I think I'm good. Sorry, I fell asleep. Been a long day. Welcome, Antoine, back. I can imagine everybody in Wrexham on a regular work day struggling to power their way through this. It's hard enough to survive an early Saturday morning wake-up call. Forget about powering through that one. Coming up to 69 minutes for me, assuming no buffer and stuff. I'll be 9 seconds away from 69 minutes. Coming up in 5. And it took them a while. 70 minutes or 69th minute. And away we go is a lot less fisticuffs in this one. Burton Cleworth in the back. They're not even lined up in the normal way. So Dobson and McLean. They say McLean a beast, then he won't come off at the age of 35. The reality is he's probably better than anybody else that lasts in a full 90 minutes plus, running his absolute butt off. No, that is Burton in goal, if you were confused. And so not a lot of subs left on the bench. Everybody else looks like it's going to be forward, except for Ashfield could come in if they wanted to make that change as it deflects off of Marriott and Chelsea's able to collect it. More of this lateral passing along the midfield stripe that Chelsea has proven to be very good at. Exceptional passes along that line. Little curveball and a wrinkle as they go back to the keeper. Max says he'll come off the pitch when he's dead. Yeah, Ruth, hey, I get it. It's going to be a problem. Oh, turnover, turning the other way. Pushed forward, 18-yard box, left-footed, scores! Guess who? Marriott, Jeff Kashuba, Ruth biting her tongue. Everybody holding on, and I could kind of sense it from what was happening around in the messages that there was potentially something there, and Wrexham takes the lead, and the guy who I said has some juice, he's got the ability to do something. Marriott proven it. That was a nice little slot over to the far side, all alone with the opportunity, and we go up 2-1. It's a goal for the good guys. Oh, the Chelsea, new coach looked mad. Little turnover into the midfield stripe. That was forced by Marriott and turned over and then spun back to him. Well done on the pass. And he's got the defenders and he's all by himself. And he says, I've got the class. I can beat your keeper. And so let's do that. Nice little challenge by Marriott and quickly turned. Everybody types out the goals. They're waiting. No spoilers. I love how well trained everybody is. We're not going to ruin it. We're going to get the reaction. Put your flex on, Wrexham fans. Put your flex on. Love it. That was a beauty of a shot. And I said if you weren't here at the start, and I will eat my words if I have to, but I hope I'm not wrong. I said, and Reese, thank you for the $2 donation, man. I appreciate it. I'll go into the cause, probably to a corporate sponsorship I'm hoping for. But I said at the start that Marriott has proven capacity in League One. And that he's got to have the juice, and he's shown all of the hustle and all the interplay that we want to see. Just hasn't scored. Really bad shooting percentage last season. I'd be smiling too if I was Marriott and on the replay there. Can't wipe that grin off, scoring against Chelsea. And Chelsea coach mad. Stress. That's Shannon saying the same thing. That coach is mad. Chelsea coach mad. That's all I got. I think Marriott is going to challenge for team lead in goals, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. Going to be a left-footed in-swinger here. Bob, throwing out the gifted memberships. Thank you, sir. 5 of you. And Denise picking one up, and Jeff picking Antoine. All people I know and recognize. This is good stuff. Ruth is saying, I love this. Everybody's happy now. Enzo looks like he wants to drown in marinara. The Italian from Leicester, four-time coach of the month last year in the championship for Leicester. Sad, mad. Cheeky bugger, right? Appreciate it, Bobby. Can you get an assist on your own play? Because that was Marriott with the turnover, Marriott with the goal, and the smile. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know what? There was something that was said in the Fearless in Devotion podcast that I have to sort of repeat about winning being part of a culture, and that even that it's preseason and even though it's Chelsea and we're going to be up against it, and looking at some of the scarier teams that are sitting in League One and the spending that Birmingham has put out there, and you have to think that we're going to be in the mix. I'm not going to say we're certainly not going to run away with it. I don't know if we'll make automatics with the lineup, but we're going to be in the mix because this club has that as a culture now. Oh, all the way forward, chasing it down. Keeper comes out 32, 35 yards out to clear that one the other way for Boyle. McLean still working his butt off. Gets that one forward. And so McLean falling back into his regular possession as a left wing back there now. How's that for a move? You played a whole half as a center forward, and now you're going to be running the whole length of the field as a left wing back with Merritt and Dalby up. Momentum. And long may it continue as far as a season thing goes, right? And that's just it. Marriott has that 300 minutes and the one goal was a bit of a blip. Oh, is it? See, that's something that we're going to have to go post-game, I think, Brendan. If you wanted to pull up some X Twitter and some favorite Chelsea tweets, we'll bring some of those up just for giggles. Ooh, studs. He's going to get a talking to, and that would be another. If that's a yellow, that's a red. So he's going to talk to him instead of reducing us to 10 men's. But I don't know about that one from Dobson. He's sitting there saying, "Don't make me send you off in a friendly." And hey, I said that before the broadcaster did. I can predict it. That should have been a yellow. Chelsea is falling apart. And that's what I love. That's what I love. Here comes Ashfield in for Dobson. Get him out of there, and that's not a problem. And this is who I wanted to see. Get the young man an opportunity. As good as he was against Bournemouth, as high as the praise has been, give him an opportunity to go and see what he does against Chelsea. League 2, Kim. Yes, in my ear, the message being delivered, and I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with it. Even if this was to become a draw or go the other way, Wrexham has shown through the second half and holding tight in the first half that they belong here. And to be fair, the lineup for Chelsea in the second half has more starters, anticipated starters for Chelsea, than in the first half. The first half was all of their young guys who are going to be sniffing around for, late minute subs, maybe start 6 to 12 games. This is going to have more regular players. They don't certainly have their full lineup out there, but the second half has been ours. Has been ours. Denise, I love that. Thank you. And any promotion you guys want to give to me on other pages that you do, if you follow on Twitter and you forward that stuff along, I appreciate all of that. As Mary, a nice little burn and turn and gets past 3 defenders, and he's going to go do it again. Gets it all over, and we've got get a cannon, hammer that. Yeah, dancing, and he had Bolton on the right side, or Barney on the right side. I guess no, that's a masterclass. Park the bus. Why? Let's go for 3. Right-footed into the area. Marriott's great save. It is still out on the rebound, but not able to get there. Nobody. We're still in hunting. That's exact. Shannon reading my mind with the they hunting. Large fish. Go get that game. Here comes right foot. Barney setting it up. 18-yard box cross all the way far post. Hammered and through the box and nobody there, but all the way back to Barney. Let's embarrass him. This is gorgeous. This is nuts. What's happening? So exciting. Follow up. Yeah, we need more finish. Let's get greedy. Run up the score in a friendly, boys. Nice little burn and turn again and push it through. Their $10.4 million defender able to clear that one away. The flop doesn't work. Pushed all the way forward. And, oh, man, I am loving this. If we do this against Vancouver Whitecaps B squad, we're going to be singing a lot. And maybe I should save my voice. It's a good time. Holy crap, do we look good, right? Stats are worse, Kim says, but they're playing better. Yeah, and definitely not last year's preseason. We're going to go home and we're going to have one more game against Fleetwood Town, and these guys are going to be ready. But they got to be. Let's be honest. We're into the belly of the beast in August. Maximum effort. What is happening? You say it's a friendly. You say, let's just, 5-0 last year. Let's get close. I put the chance into Vancouver, WrexCoast, Vancouver 24 on Facebook. All the chants are there. I will bring them to the pint. And if you're asking for the chants from the crowd, I hear "Let's go Wrexham." If I hear "Let's go Wrexham," I'm going to scream at people. I will be screaming at people. You just have to do Wrexham 3 times if you don't know any other chant. And it's not hard to learn "We Are Wrexham FC." Like, that's the one that I'm going to be singing the most. And James McLean's song. It's short. Learn them. Sing them out there. I will be obnoxious. I will be behind the Wrexham bench with Brendan, and you will hear me. I will make sure of it, even if I'm all by myself and embarrassing myself. 18-yard box, Chelsea with the opportunity. Shot on Burton. Blocked down. Bill Boyle sliding over from the left-hand side, and we're looking for a clear. Barney gets the clear, and it goes all the way out, and well done defensively. Thank you. Spoke them into existence, but you did the "Let's go Wrexham" chantage. It's almost as bad as the wave. The wave is the only thing that could be worse. And here they come again. Chelsea right-hand side into the 18-yard box. Boyle gives them the shot. Now takes it away, and it's flipped forward and cleared. Well done collapsing as we clear it out, and everybody goes for a tumble. Harry Ashfield should have maybe got that one further down the left side and put it up the middle and turned it over. The only criticism I've had of the young man is maybe should have found the wing on that one. Instead, gave up a chance. There it is, and it's in. That's a lesson on the video for the young man. Yes, we still do, I think. I still think we do. So 2-2, 81 minutes in. Let me grab that for you, Denise, in a second. But that opportunity, that last opportunity, was a consequence of Harry Ashfield having the opportunity and the space to thump the ball down the pitch. And he got the distance, but he put it up the center of the pitch and was able to turn around instead of going down the left side. And so gave that opportunity away. And it is what it is. Those crowded box goals come to bite us in the butt again as it swung around and then just flung into the back of the net. Crap. Ugochukwu, 82nd minute goal, and let's see if they're going to come after us. As here on the left-hand side is Cleworth on Raheem. Step in there, Max. Don't let him do his thing. Keep on him, sir. Push him all the way out. Well done. Buffer. I want to know. Now I have to go up. That was a perfect little slot. Just pass it right in front of. I can't unsee it. Boyle looks like a British Al Bundy. Now he can't unsee it. Exactly right. I'm not going to disagree. WrexCoast Tour 24 Vancouver fans is the link. I'll grab that link if people want to go there to find out where the chants are and if you're going to go to the game. I can close that off. I know who would have thought too, all 83rd minute subs. And to be fair, I think Burton's going to take some time to get into this one. I mean, he was still on his line, and I don't know how far you can come to cut off an angle when you're looking at a scramble in the box. You kind of want to stay home a little bit. But Burton's going to take some time to get into the feel of things, as comes from good stock, but he didn't play last year. And so this is only his second game in a year, second half in a year, as Raheem has it taken on Cannon, and Cannon says, no thanks, and strips him of it. Raheem looking for a call, and it's not there. And here comes Chelsea dancing around the 18-yard box. It's a lot of scramble. I don't know if the bot will eat my post, but there's the Facebook group for the WrexCoast that I put the chance on there. And away we go. Every hockey player knows you don't do that. The Chelsea fan flag gets hung out there behind the supporters box. Boyle draws it on over. Crossed right into the middle of the pitch a little bit. Is that what we're talking about? Every hockey player knows you don't do that. Put it right up the middle. Long ball looking for Marriott. Not there, but still headed down. Dalby, Marriott doing their thing. Marriott trying to run over defenders. Can't get their cannon with it over the other side. And the ref says, no, free kick. And Marriott says, why? Why? And I said that was on Ashfield. Dave says he thinks that was Davies' fault. Kind of left his man to intercept. And then it went back to the guy that Davies was supposed to be marking. And a turnover, but it gets blown down and says, no, Mr. Dalby, you're not allowed to get an advantage off of a free kick. So we're going to do this again. It is nice, I will say, to be fair, and I guess it's a friendly and not as heated, but the referee, not a factor and not part of the story in this one, as it's crossed forward for Dalby to go and chase down, but too far out, and the keeper comes and grabs it for Chelsea. 85th minute, and a 2-2 draw. With much of Chelsea's starters, not all of them, at least getting some sample in the second half and a couple of them in the first. So it's been a competitive lineup for Chelsea, and we've held our own. Nothing but good news for the Red Dragons. And exactly right. We still look great this half, Bobby. Nice little nick play. Oh, and a turnover the other way. Raheem Sterling dancing. When he gets running, he's got some magic, and that wasn't Max over on that side. Harry Ashfield getting called on to take on Raheem Sterling to fill in the gaps. Gets beat, hustles his butt back. Not able to get there, and somebody ended up helping out Ashfield. Who was that? Was that the young Aaron James that came in on the 81st minute, who's playing over on the right-hand side for Max? Because I was looking for Max, and that looked like it might have been Aaron James who came in as a sub. Left-footed out swinger into the area. Ashfield with the header away. Barney clears it forward. Marriott on the counter attack. Yeah, flicked on, and the referee's got to get out of the way. Chelsea, right side. Angelo, 18-yard box. Ashfield not able to get there, and it's cleared through, but right through the box. The young guys, Ashfield and James, getting their opportunity to lick their chops against Raheem Sterling and others. You got to love it. You absolutely have to love it, don't you? The Wrexham Academy, strutting its stuff. $87 minutes and 45 seconds for me as we're moving through, and Chelsea playing around in the middle of the pitch. Left side, 18-yard box, looking for a cross inside from Raheem. Draws it back, and well done in doing so. James defends that nicely, and it goes all the way out, and they're over on the right-hand side with a cross, and up over the goalpost. Woo. Couldn't get the foot around it, ended up getting too much lift. Still a dangerous ball, and I think Burton was there, to be completely fair. Didn't have to put his hand up, but I think you had that one covered. Ay, 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 ay. How fun is this? Man, you bring that graphic up. Lots of manager changes in Chelsea, but then young squad and supposed to be, I think, a year of growth and development with their financial issues, squabbles, all that sort of stuff that's happened. The only thing that's going to be interesting for them is the whole Enzo Fernandez controversy and what they're going to do with that, with players on his own team saying unfollow on his social media after his racist chant. Well done by Mr. Boyle. Impressive. Broha sitting there raising his hand looking for it, and that was just perfectly defended by Mr. Boyle. little bit of park the bus now for the boys as they're back. Shape's still there over to Raheem. Going to take on Mr. James. Cross dangerous. Broha there couldn't get his header on it, went the other way, and James is looking to thump it down the pitch and tell Marriott to do some work. There's a lot of bowling ball. Just push the ball forward and run mad at it as Raheem ends up giving a foul, and he's chirping away. A little bit too aggressive on the challenge there, and we'll find out how much added time we've got. What are we going to say? 2 minutes here? And that's on Barney, and Raheem saying the smile on Barney's face in the conversation with Raheem. 4 minutes of added time. Oh, do they change it? 2 minutes of added time. It came up 4 on the graphic, and then the broadcaster comes in and says, no, hold on. Everybody wants to go home early. We don't want anybody to get hurt here while they're tired, so we'll make it 2 minutes. Burton with the restart all the way down the pitch. Cannon with a little bit of an elbow throw on that one that didn't connect, but that was a little bit free. Stepped on his heels. Unintended, and Marriott trying to pitbull his way around the defender. Couldn't get there. Oh, man. 1 minute of football, and then the next football I watch is going to be live. Watching Wrexham play for the first time in front of me. It's going to be a glorious next 3-4 days. I just beside myself. Chelsea's still with it. This one's not over yet. 18-yard box. Angelo looking for a cross, draws it out to the outside of the 18-yard box. Scooped in. Lots of players there. James able to climb the ladder and head that one away. And Barney settles it down. Late minute goal, guys. Moving forward. It's a friendly. Let's have some fun. Well blocked. Defender took that opportunity away, and Chelsea might get one more chance here before the end of this one. Looking for a 2-2 draw. Whoo-wee. $5-0 to 2-2, and we've looked it. Savor the atmosphere. I'm gonna plan on it, Antoine. I'm hoping everybody in Wrexham can hear us. That's how I want it to be. I want that side from 218 all the way around the goal to be doing "We Are Wrexham FC." Learn, like Paul Mullen can hear us. We can sing that one for him while he's in Wales. James McLean is easy enough to sing. There's a lot that are to get there. There it is, full time. We had it for a moment. You know what? If you would have told me before this one that we'd end up 2-2 and ended up having the lead, and McElhaney with the big eating grin, that's some great stuff. I will take it. Some draws are a win, and this one is for us. Chelsea will see that as a loss. And I don't know, Brendan, as you come in and jump on here momentarily, if you're able to find some of those tweets that might be out there. But yeah, satisfied, right? They're going to look to put a bow on things. I'm going to take my headset off. How fun was that? Man.
Very enjoyable.
I am absolutely stoked. Brendan, are you with me on the main channel now?
I am. I'm on the screen, and I have the big window up with FOTMob stats showing.
Perfect. Let's go through the FOTMob stuff. You're going to have to be the stats man. We're going to have to fly with it, and you can run it. And
sure.
Let us know what those stats are.
27% possession for the game for Wrexham. They had 11 total shots to 6. They had 3 on target. We had 4. They had 2 big chances. We had 1. They missed 1 big chance. They had 91% of the possession and 644 passes completed. We were 73%, which is nice, 186. They had 13 fouls. We had 6. They had 5 corners. We finally got 1. They're ahead in just about everything. I think we had 1 more throw in, 1 more tackle, 1 maybe. Yeah, we won 2 more tackles. A couple
I'm
more
loving
blocks.
this. Canada Red Dragons. Oh, sorry. Canada Red Dragons tweeting, "We are massive" with that picture just happened moments ago of McElhaney with the eating grin. Some great stuff. Continue on. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, we didn't talk about ask the chat for man of the match.
We didn't do man of the match. I wasn't so worried about it for the preseason, but do we just get into the habit of asking everybody that's still here if you've got a nominee for man of the match, and I can throw out a poll, I guess, and get into the habit of doing that for man of the match.
I have the statistics up.
Wrexham defense gave the ball away. Breaking news: Chelsea challenges Wrexham to a rematch. Sorry, I'll just go through some of these as I get there. I love McLean, a fiery Irishman, and then we've got Wrexham defense giving away the ball. And that I agree with you, Jinping, that in the second half that was a little bit more of a problem than it was in the first half, especially late. But some of that was due to effort. I think the only one I remember that was Ashfield's giveaway, really, and not enough going safely down the wings. But that's correctable, and I'm sure they'll get on that as they get going. Canada Ball, that I remember seeing your name pop up as one who received one from Chris last match that threw those around. So it might have been Bobby this one. Lots of people donating the $1 membership, so you'll have those. And if you end up enjoying having that icon next to your name, you can and the benefits of the member only things. We had one earlier today. Then feel free to subscribe yourself. Did you happen to find any tweets, Brendan?
No, I didn't have my Twitter up here. I will next time, so I'll be able to follow that, but I don't have it up at the moment.
Yeah, I was just looking here to see if I could follow anything that was there. We got Mac for man of the match. Love McLean, dude is a baller. Mac is, and I've got Dobson or Marriott. So let's throw those up. I can put that up as a poll if I can scroll this over properly. And I'll just add the names so you guys can put those out there. So I'm going to say man of the match. And we've got nominees for McLean, for Marriott with 2 R's, 2 T's, for Dobson. Anybody else that we're throwing out there? Did I miss anybody that somebody suggested? Marriott, Dobson and his hair gel, McLean for man of the match, and then Revan also. So let's throw Revan in there, and we'll let those votes fire for man of the match. Grizz, if that means you're signing out, it was a pleasure having you. Well, I won't see you guys on Saturday. It sounds like Josh is going to carry the ball, and I'll have to chat with him to connect everything and make sure that works without a hitch. If not, local pundit will have it as well. Feel free to watch on either stream. It doesn't bother me at all, as I will be sitting in the stadium having an absolute blast. Fight in the first minute, you automatically get man of the match. Can we call that a fight? I don't know. I'm scrolling through Chelsea Twitter. Maresca after Wrexham's second goal. Welcome to Chelsea. It's got 94 likes and everybody having a bit of a laugh. That's from it looks like it is a Chelsea FC. I thought it might have been from a Man City fan. Not a lot on the Twitter that I'm seeing that I expected to see a little bit more. And I was hoping. We'll keep scrolling through on a 2-2 draw and see if we find anybody. So what's up next for us, Brendan? You arrive in here on Friday.
Yes, should be exciting times. Nonstop. We have stuff planned the whole time I'm up there. So, yeah, it'll be go.
Yeah, I think the only quiet time that you've got is probably the 3-4 hours before we end up over at the Welsh Hall. I was told that they are going to have a little bit of a quiet sort of, if you want to come over and sit and have a bite to eat and something and a couple of nibbles before the 7 o'clock. They might have a couple of people sneak in there beforehand. I haven't been advertising that. Ruth saying, and this is a good point, I definitely feel better about us playing like Birmingham will hold our own and compete in L1 for sure. I think we've definitely shown that and proven that, and sort of what I expected. We do have quite the run to get out of the box, so I'm not going to be too fussed if we don't if we take a couple of L's through that. Nash, have a good night's sleep. Thanks for joining us. We will be there Saturday. Make sure to try and hear us. I will be there as obnoxiously loud as I can possibly be, and hopefully getting some other people to join in with me. Otherwise, I'll just look unique in our outfits. Our outfits. Brendan picking up special attire for this one that we'll both be wearing. I don't want to ruin it. We'll let the pictures stand for themselves as we'll have those on, I guess, for the meet and greet. If you are in and you're just listening and you haven't heard, Thursday or tomorrow, I guess, is going to be at the Hollywood Theater in Kitsilano. After that, on the Friday night, we're going to be at the Cambrian Hall, the Welsh Hall, for some drinks, and then probably walk to some microbreweries in the area after that. And then we'll be back at it over at the Pint early in the morning, to set up, I guess, and then noon for the kickoff to the meet and greet, with probably some turnover, hoping because there'll be a fan zone at the same time. So I imagine there will be people in and out of the meet and greet, and then game time. And then after that, we'll have maybe just some quiet food and some drinks and settle everything down as we saddle up for the fireworks. It's going to be a good one, and I'm stoked and having fun. And if you're watching the game and you're wondering where we're sitting, you're going to see two guys with basically white-based stuff on, with a whole bunch of other things. And my flag, if you haven't seen the flag, I'll show it off again. This is the flag you're looking for. Should be draped over the poles. There it is. Should be draped over the pole right in front of us, just to the left if you're facing the field of the Wrexham bench, to the right if you're looking at the crowd. We'll just be to the side of it. But yeah, watch where the players are, and there's a little covered area, and we should just be to the right if you're facing the stands, the left otherwise. So yes, Jeff, I absolutely agree that defense is looking really strong, and as it should, given the improvements that we've sort of made over the season, bringing Dobson and Evans sliding back. I think Brunt coming in, I think we'll be okay in the back end. 2 to 4 more guys potentially coming in before the window closes, whoever those may be. And I'm going to have a blast looking through Wrexham Twitter today. Before you leave, the like button is there. The poll's still kicking. It looks like Marriott's ahead if you wanted to get your thoughts on that one. Enjoy. The other thing that I'm afraid of, and I've mentioned this once or twice before, if it is the Canadian play-by-play guy for Global TV, he said that he was doing the play-by-play. I don't know how that's going to be televised. He's with Global. I made a joke that every time he mentions the word sheep, I'll have a drink when I watch it afterwards. And so I may end up trying to find that Global stream and might do a watch along with that with some beverages in front of me. And I can rewatch the glory and chat about what we saw and all that sort of stuff. Thanks, Denise. I'm super impressed with that. And I got 2 of them. One I'm hoping to send to Wales, and I've got somebody who reached out. I had about half dozen people reach out and say they would be more than happy to make sure that was up for every game. So it's there. But thanks, everybody, for signing in. Hit that like button before you leave, just to send the message. And feel free to go on Twitter. I try to pin the watch party before we set it out there. I'd be super appreciative if we get the message out. Trying to catch Chester. I looked that one up, by the way, earlier today. 48.2% of the way there. They have just over 4,000 subscribers. We're just over 2,000 subscribers. And so I'm hoping by the end of the year, there's an outside chance we could roll in and be larger as a YouTube channel than Chester FC, which I think would just be freaking hilarious. Thanks, Bobby. I love doing this, and I enjoy the community that's coming here. We've got some good people who know some stuff, have a great time doing it. And I appreciate Patrick, the 50A's flag in that one. I got this thing beat this time. Just take a couple of Nicorettes every once in a while. Watch the Lady Dragons. Enjoy that one. Won't be able to watch that one. And I guess if there's somebody who wanted to do that broadcast, it is going to be on iFollow. It's going to be available. I won't be able to do it because I'm going to be sitting drinking with a whole bunch of Wrexhamites and Wrexham fans in the Welsh Hall. So I talked to them about being able to cover it, but they've got a projector TV, and with the capacity issues that they anticipate, they only have a capacity of 125. It will be a challenge. So I think they're going to be cycling people through. What to say about this one to wrap it up, Brendan? You got anything?
No, it was great. If anything, it makes me feel a heck of a lot better. I was expecting we were going to get whooped the whole first 8 games of the season, and who knows, maybe we still don't win those games, but I was worried that we didn't have a top third team for League One, and we look like we probably do. I still think we're lacking a replacement for Palmer, but other than that, I think we can get by. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be the message, right? Is exactly that. Is they've sort of announced that the team is ready. We can run with some very talented players, even when they had the young guys out there. Still talented. They're in the Prem for a reason, and our guys have that swagger, that momentum, that fortitude, that winning sort of thing that's going. So it should be a good one. So I will have a blast here. Woody, you're very welcome. It's been fun again, and I'm going to miss you guys actually watching that one, but I will probably stay tuned during the match to the YouTube stuff. I'm sure that we'll find a way to pick the camera up and do some things, and we're going to be streaming from the meet and greet, and I've bought some lapel pin or lapel I do have lapel pins to give away throughout the thing, but I'm going to have the lapel mics that I've been testing. Hopefully that all works out. The draw is a win for us. It's been outstanding. This has been a blast, and I'm going to soak up some Wrexham Twitter and enjoy the rest of the evening. I got to go to bed early because I'm in court tomorrow. So I got to wear a suit and then get out of the court and go and change and get ready for the men in blazers. I'll be a man in blazer and then not in a blazer. So it should be it's going to be a chaotic evening as I buckle down for that. I should probably wrap up so I can go and review some of that so that I'm ready to go for tomorrow. I guess that's it. We can wrap up the poll here. I'll just shut her down and hit the end button. Marriott taking that one, Brendan, for the record. 50%, McLean with 31, Revan 12, and Dobson with 6 off of 32 votes. Yeah, enjoy the game. I don't even know where it's at. Somebody was telling me early, and I'm just going to go and check it out before we get off, that they did finally see that the Vancouver match was on the Wrexham iFollow. Just a note again, the old URL doesn't lead to it. You've got to go to the actual site, click iFollow. It'll pull up on videos. And I don't know, ESPN not planning to cover that game. So for those of you in the US, you're going to have to probably figure this one out by hitting the subscription button and seeing if that game does pop up for you in the feed. I don't see it there at the moment, but doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it won't be there shortly. I know that there's going to be coverage because the broadcaster is going to be there. However, they're going to be there. So I think that's it, Brennan. Parting words.
Great job as usual, Sean, and I'll see you in about 30 hours or so.
30 hours or so. Looking forward to it, man. All right, everybody, enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by, for joining in. We'll sign out of this one, and Brendan, it's on you, I guess, to take it away. Cheers.
All right.